Undisputed. It means no questions remain. Who is the King of Kings? A debate that ends tonight. Two undefeated heavyweights fighting for sport's richest prize, like Marciano, Ali and Tyson before them. Tonight, the world stands still. All eyes on Saudi Arabia for Fury versus Usyk. Welcome to the King of Kings watch along on talkSPORT.
All three in favor of the winner and the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
With all these fans coming here to support me, I gotta pull it out. Enough people were trying to stop me. The Americans didn't want me to take it over the Atlantic to Britain, but I actually persevered and succeeded.
The biggest fight of the 21st century taking place. It's never happened before, 4 belts on the line, and we're gonna find out who the best heavyweight in the world is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated, reigning and defending WBC and lineal heavyweight champion of the world, introducing the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury!
Come from Fury, followed by the left hand and another right. Down goes the shoulder, and the referee has waved the fight over.
Yous are all dossers. He's getting knocked out, and you two are going to be working for me carrying me bag slinks. Remember I said it on the stage?
Let the fight go on.
Let's get the press conference going, Sausage. Make your man talk.
Let the belts come back home to Ukraine.
From Ukraine, Alexander Usyk!
He's unbelievable. I can't emphasise how good he is.
I don't think Fury's boxed anybody like him. A good Alexander Usyk probably holds his own with just about any heavyweight that's ever lived.
If he can't find explosives, he will not beat Tyson Fury. I don't care what they say.
I'm the last undisputed heavyweight champion of the world right now. So in order for one of those guys to have my crown, they have to fight.
Sweet baby Jesus and the orphans. How excited are you? I've waited 25 years to be sat here talking about the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Many missed opportunities over recent times, but we're finally here. Tonight, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk will face off. Everything is on the line. We are going to crown the King of Kings. I'm Adam Catterall. It is an absolute pleasure to be in your company. If you're listening to us on talkSPORT, welcome. If you're watching us for the watch along this evening in our brand spanking new sparkly studio on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, make sure you get stuck in throughout the course of the night. Get involved in the comments. We'll be reading out various things throughout the course of the evening. I am joined by an illustrious panel that are going to be getting stuck into tonight's show. The one and only Spencer Oliver, as always, alongside me. The former IBF flyweight world champion, Sonny Edwards here too. And the voice of boxing himself, a man that is going to put the dots across my T's, let me tell you. The one and only Mr. Adam Smith. Gentlemen, welcome. Spence, give it to me, man. 1 to 10, where's the excitement levels?
It's 10. It's 10, mate. It has to be. 25 years we've waited for this one. Remember working on the last one, actually, with Vander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis. That back in 1999, Adam Smith was actually out there. I was in the studio. And we've got it again, finally. We've been waiting for this undisputed fight. Did we ever think it was going to happen? No, the investment of Saudi Arabia was so important for making this fight happen. We finally get it. Who wins? Who knows?
Well, listen, you're not sitting on the fence throughout the course of this show, all right? We're going to be
We're
going to get in.
I'm giving you a little tease.
Yeah,
I'm just starting it off that way.
Don't give him too much too early, just give him a little bit.
You know what it's like.
Sonny, how important is this? The heavyweight division unifying, bringing the best of the best together, all the belts on the line to finally end the conversation about who the number one is of the era?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time coming. I don't know if 3-4 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, we would be expecting Usyk versus Fury. There was been kind of a few different contenders, a few different front runners, but these are the two that we've got for all the belts. I don't know how you've been so excited for... I thought the undisputed belt only got made about 3 months ago. I don't know, 25 years. But then again, obviously this is my era of boxing. Obviously, I'm only quite young, Adam. So, but yeah, I think it's fantastic for the sport. Look, right now, even I'm watching a Welshman and an Irishman fighting in the middle of Saudi on the biggest card of maybe that I've seen in my lifetime. And the whole world's watching, the whole world's talking about it. I know the feel of a big fight, and normally the closer you are in proximity to the fight, the bigger the fight feels. But these fights in Saudi have had the whole world talking. I don't think I've walked past people in Tesco's that weren't talking about this fight. It's really captured your imagination. I think Usyk beating AJ twice in the manner he did, even the sort of uproar with AJ, it kind of put so many eyes from our side of the world onto this fight. Tyson Fury, obviously from our shores, and is a great champion in his own right. Some arguing the best heavyweight from Britain ever. Some argue. So maybe if he beats Usyk tonight, he'll really cement that.
Just like to point out, other supermarkets are available, but everybody's going to be going to Tesco's now that you know the king of the flyweights is shopping and getting his extra points on his club card. Listen, Adam Smith, let me bring you in, man, because over the years there have been many big fights, as Spencer just alluded to there. You were back in 1999 for Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis. They obviously had 2 goals. First one was a controversial draw. Second one obviously played out in favour of Lennox Lewis. What do you remember of the last time that we were in this situation, in that 3-belt era then, where we were talking about undisputed championships?
Wonderful memories, Adam. That's what it was. A great era with Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe and Mike Tyson. And when Lewis and Holyfield met for the first time at the Garden, it was there was something in the air. It's a magical place, MSG, anyway. And Lennox Lewis for me won the fight fairly comfortably. And of course, the uproar of the contentious draw, Eugenia Williams' scorecard in favour of Holyfield, Frank Maloney with his Union Jack suit on, and Rudy Giuliani, the mayor, and the New York Post, and uproar and controversy and robbery and all of that. And then a few months later in Vegas, Lennox Lewis got it right, with the judges anyway, and the undisputed champion. And Lennox being out there in Saudi is absolutely fantastic. We've waited 25 years for this. It's magnetism, it's iconic, and it's a wonderful moment, not only for boxing, but for sport globally, that we finally find out who is the greatest heavyweight on the planet, and we can't wait.
That's the key thing, isn't it? Because for years, when I speak to fight fans, they get a little bit down on boxing because we're not getting the big fights in the heavyweight division. And maybe some other sports have taken over when we're talking about richest prizes and various things like that. But for me, traditionally, the richest prize in the game of sport is the heavyweight undisputed championship. And tonight, there's a real opportunity to propel ourselves back to the top of the tree.
There is, and we've been lucky enough to be around the world at different events, whether it's America, Britain, Germany, or out in Saudi Arabia. I was there for AJ and Ngannou, and before that, when AJ and Wilder fought side by side. And, Turki Al-Sheikh and Dr. Rakan, you've got to take your hats off to them. They're putting on the massive fights over there. And, of course, when we were here for AJ Klitschko, 90,000 at Wembley, or Fury and White, 94,000, it's a different feel in London. But this is what's happening. And it's wonderful that these fights are being made. It's a brilliant card, as Sonny was saying, a terrific build-up as well with Joe Cordina. You've also got Jaya Pattaya in the great rematch with Marius Bradis as well, all building up to the heavyweight sensational matchup of this century, as Frank was saying. 25 years, a quarter of a century it's taken to make this. And Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury are undefeated as well, to add to the mix. Different styles, both elite boxers. Maybe not quite at the peak of their powers, but it makes it for a fascinating matchup. And both coming off strange performances too. So there's many questions to answer tonight. Are we going to get a thunderous fight, or are we going to get a chess match? I tell you what, we cannot wait to see how it unfolds, technically and from a sort of bigger standpoint in sport.
Absolutely. Listen, you're in for a treat tonight. Wherever you are consuming this watch-along, whether you're doing it via the talkSPORT DAB, whether you're listening to us on the radio or you're watching us on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, you're going to be inundated with facts and stats. Adam Smith's here, I'm here, Spencer's here, Sonny's here. Facts and stats are going to be coming out of your ears as we build up towards this monstrous fight this evening. With all that said and done, I have to start slightly on a negative, all right? Because we've been building this up, 25 years waiting for it, loads of missed opportunities. We're finally here. We've got it over the line. If you remember, actually, this fight had it's had 2 previous dates, hasn't it? December 23rd, then in March, obviously, with the cut, it all fell off, and now we're here. We're finally here. This is the 3rd date. So imagine my disappointment when fight week begins and we're all talking about a headbutt in a hotel lobby.
Yeah, disappointing. It was strange behaviour. Listen, We know what the Fury clan bring to the table. We know it's all about showmanship, entertainment. But John Fury went a little bit too far with what happened with that headbutt. He picked sort of the smallest guy in the Usyk team as well, which was a little bit strange. Stuck the nut on him. He's the one that come off with the cut as well. Not acceptable. It shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't have been done. But it's just weird the way it was sort of brushed under the carpet.
Well, let's be straight. It's criminal behaviour. You can't do that. You cannot just assault somebody like he assaulted somebody in a hotel lobby.
Catman, we get the entertainment side of things. We know what it's all about now. You know, we know that attracts a certain market. We understand that. The world has changed a lot. You know, it's moved. It's gone onto YouTube. A lot of people watch these clips. It goes viral. All of a sudden, you get a bigger audience. We understand it. And the Furies have done a great job at doing that. But what he's done there was he's gone too far. Yes, emotions do run high, but that is not acceptable. That is not acceptable when you've got a fight of this magnitude, the undisputed one we've been waiting for 25 years, and you go out there and stick the nut on someone. Not acceptable.
Emotions do run high in fight week, and we've seen it many times before. Adam, I just want to quickly refer back maybe to when Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson fought, for example. Yep. It did overrun there. But in those situations, it's the fighters that overcome with the emotion, and that it's the fighters that step too far. We're talking about, with all due respect, a member of the public stepping too far. A member of the team stepping too far.
No, it's a dad. That's very different, Adam.
But it's
that's
bang out of order.
different. And you have kids, Adam?
Yes, I do.
When your kid is in that ring in front of you, I have a 5-year-old that spars a 6-year-old in front of him. And
my kids fight too,
when your son is in the ring at just that level, your heart and soul is in front of you. So even though
you're referring to watching a fight. I'm talking about something that happened.
I'm not defending him, but what I mean is, like, I feel like you played the role of John Fury down by calling him a member of the public, because he's more the father of the main guy we're building this whole Saudi Riyadh season over, and he's also kind of clearly proven that he's got some powerful friends over there, because he was free the next morning, wasn't he?
He was. Anyway, let's move on from that, because
but it is the camps, isn't it? It's the two camps. And the Usyk camp, you know, for months have been sort of goading away, haven't they, as well? And I think the emotions have more come from the entourages than the fighters themselves at times.
Absolutely.
Usyk cool as a cucumber, a little bit rattled at the weigh-in, and Tyson Fury, you know, he's unpredictable at the best of times, but you know, he knows they have so much respect for each other, Adam, the two fighters. Honestly, look at the shape that Tyson
think they've been great
Fury,
this week, both fighters.
The shape that Tyson Fury is in mentally and physically. I was up in Morecambe a few weeks ago. You know, he's an encyclopedic knowledge of the sport. And he was talking about heavyweights and cruiserweights, and he's worked it out, and he physically looks fantastic. That's the shape he needs to be in to fight Alexander Usyk. And as for Usyk, the consummate professional, fantastic, always athletic, always in condition and ready to fight. The two of them know how tough this is.
Yeah, I think... What have you taken from the mental aspect of both of the guys this week, from the interviews that they've been doing and the way they've been conducting themselves?
Listen, when the fighter's left no stone unturned, as Tyson Fury has, a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter, and you know when they're happy, when they're engaging with the social media platforms, etc., and doing all the interviews and whatnot. You know that he's in a good place. He's speaking really well, so you know he's left no stone unturned. You can tell that by the physicalities of the guy. He's lost a lot of weight, 18 stone 7, the lightest he's been in 5 years or so. He knows what he's up against here. When he backs up against the wall, Tyson Fury, that's when he performs. That's when he's at his best. He drops a level when he boxes a lower level opponent. And I think with this one, this will bring the best out in him again. And he needs to be at his best. It has to be a career best performance from Tyson Fury, in my eyes. Forget the Deontay Wilder, the trilogy with Wilder. In my eyes, it has to be a career best performance for him to win tonight. I've tipped him to win. I think that he will get it just over the line. But Alexander Usyk is a box of tricks. Out that southpaw stance, if he gets that front foot on the outside and he starts beating Fury's with a jab, or Fury's timing is just off, it's going to be an absolute nightmare for him.
Let's get a little bit of an update from Sonny and Adam, who are currently keeping an eye on this world title fight. Joe Cordina, IBF champion at featherweight, is in there against Anthony-Cacace, and it looks like Anthony-Cacace's teeing off on him, Adam.
Well, you're saying that Cacace's been in absolute total focus all week, and he is attacking Cordina's body. I tell you what, this could be a big upset here. Cordina, fancied, undefeated, world champion, Cacace all over him in the third round.
Yep, he looks in trouble, doesn't he? He's taking some big shots, happy to cover up. Do you know what's always concerned me about Joe Cordina? He dropped down from lightweight down to super featherweight.
Big trouble there. Uppercut, body shot down.
He's gone.
Wow.
Joe Cordina's just been dropped in there.
It's a heavy... That's a heavy
50
one.
seconds left in the third round. He's not going to get through this, I don't think.
He's in desperate trouble.
I think Cacace's going to jump on him here.
He was moving nice the first few
Anthony
rounds as
Cacace
well.
is about...
he's got to get hooked.
It's in big trouble.
He's in a lot of trouble.
He was moving nice first
Anthony
couple of
Cacace
rounds.
is
I'm not sure he's going to get through this.
Has he got the experience here, Cordina? Look at his legs.
No, he's gone, mate. It's not about experience.
The referee's ready.
Punch resistance.
The referee's jumping in.
He's got to stop it. He's got to stop it.
The referee's got to jump in.
He's got to jump in here.
The referee is...
Bob Williams is giving him every chance here.
20 seconds in the round. Cordina never been in this sort of trouble.
He's in desperate trouble. The legs are totally gone.
Go down again. One more time.
One more shot. Uppercut goes in.
He needs to go down one more time.
One more shot and it's over.
Bell going to save him.
Jump in here.
Bell could save him here.
He's
got to throw something back.
How has the referee not stopped this?
This is unbelievable.
He's going to hear the bell here. Uppercut. He's just teeing off on it.
I cannot believe he's got through that.
He has walked back to that.
Listen, we're going to be right back after the break. All the latest on the biggest fight of the last 25 years. This is talkSPORT, King of Kings. Don't go anywhere. This is talkSPORT's King of Kings, the Usyk versus Fury watch-along. Earlier this week, I caught up with former two-weight world champion Ricky Hatton as we build up to this massive, undisputed contest between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. He gave me an insight into what it's like to be involved in a huge event like this one tonight.
You're a man that has been around the big fights. And as we are looking at this week, it doesn't really get much bigger than this, does it? The undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. We've got a British fighter involved in it as well. It's absolutely gigantic for the sport, isn't it?
Massive. You know, a few years ago, you didn't even know British heavyweight. When you think of the heavyweights we've got now, to think that, we could have the man with all the belts, you know what I mean? It's one of the biggest fights in history. I think the fact that it's for absolutely all the belts, Usyk, undefeated, undisputed cruiserweight champion, undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion, Olympic gold medalist, Tyson Fury unbeaten as well. You know what I mean? And what makes it, I think everyone is a bit 50-50 with it now, to be honest, after Tyson's last performance, to be honest with you. But which makes it even more exciting for the fighter. I think a couple of years ago, I think he was a little bit more of a heavy favourite, but now it's a 50-50 fight. Most people see it that way, and what an occasion, yeah.
Do you think because of the length of time that we've waited for this particular division to have an undisputed fight, last one 1999, do you think that actually adds to it even more? 25 years is a long time to wait, and there's been a lot of chat in that period of time, hasn't there, about trying to get one of these fights over the line, and now we're finally here. It just feels even bigger.
Well, there's a lot of sometimes a lot of a lot of tripe, as they say, he goes on in boxing terms. And the thing is with boxing is at the minute, sometimes people are sooner watch a YouTuber versus a rapper or a MMA versus a what's the name, and sometimes the big fights, aren't being made. I mean, to be honest with you, we've been waiting 25 years for an undisputed championship in the world, but we've been waiting 5 or 6 years for this one. I mean, how long have we been waiting for Tyson and AJ? Do you know what I mean? So, but this is the biggest fight in boxing. I know, fair play to AJ. He's looking good now. His last couple of performances have been exceptional. So, but this is the biggest fight out there.
What's the mentality like as a fighter preparing for something like this? You've been here, mate. You had your Costa fights, you had the Mayweather, you had all these big monster fights, big fight weeks, loads of press attention. What's it like being in the middle of that storm?
It's very, very hard. I remember, for the Mayweather fight, the Pacquiao fights, there was a program that they did on, I think it was on Sky at the time. It was called 24/7, where they followed about
HBO. HBO used to run it, didn't they?
They followed us about for 4 weeks before the fight, and it just having the cameras round you all the time, everywhere you go, and it was like there's two of the best pound for pound fighters in the world, and it's. I think sometimes you've got to hold your nerve. You know what I mean? In boxing these days, you've got a press conference and you've got to weigh in, and there's that much bigger build up and interviews. You know what I mean? It's. I think you've just got to keep your nerve and keep you cool and hold your game plan together. And don't get me wrong, both these lads are more than experienced enough to do that. To they've been there, they've got the t-shirt. But I think when all this, and it does get on your nerves, it does get you down a little bit, but you've got to do it. You've got to do an interview and you repeat yourself, you're answering the same questions over again. And it does do your head in. But it's, and I think Tyson, the occasion got to him in Saudi last time. I think he took his opponent a little bit lightly. Every world champion you could possibly think of went there. The Saudis wanted to make it such a mega first fight, and they did. But I think Tyson took his eye off the ball a little bit, and I think that's why his performance was a little bit mediocre. But it's probably the best thing that could have happened to him. If anybody's got to be on his game for this one, it'd be Tyson because of the last fight. Yeah, you can see by his chiseled face the condition he's in. He's not playing games, and Tyson knows I say this with love. He's not coming out with half the crap he normally comes out with, to be honest with you. Normally, in fairness, he's coming out with a little bit in the last couple of days as we're getting the fights near. But I mean, for the training camp itself, he's been on it. He's not been saying too much. He's just been getting his head down, getting on his training, getting on with his training. And to see him when he walks in Saudi this week, the shape and conditioning, and he's having a little bit of doing what Tyson does best. His little bit, but he's on it this time. Trust me, I know Tyson pretty good, and I think he's on it. And as long as he's got enough in the tank, because I think the Wilder fights took it out of Wilder. Against Joseph Parker, he looked a broken man, didn't he? And when you think Tyson didn't look too clever against Ngannou, maybe them Wilder fights took it out of both of them. But I don't. I think Tyson he took it lightly. He come in a little bit heavy, but now he was probably the best coming into this fight. It's the best kick up the arse he could have probably had, as they say. Yeah.
How do you think it plays out, mate?
I just think Tyson's on the ball. You know what I mean? If Tyson had boxed Ngannou and flattened him like AJ did, which I think Tyson was well capable of doing, I think he'd have come into this fight still up for it. But I think he'd have come into this fight a little bit latsy daisy, a little bit, I'm the best anyway. I'll do this and that. But I think that's brought Tyson back down to earth a little bit, that Ngannou performance, you know what I mean? And it's probably the best thing that he could have done. He gone, look, I took my eye off the ball. Look what nearly happened. Tell you what, that's not happening this time, because if I do that against this little sod, it's over.
Ricky Hatton, their thoughts of how he thinks that tonight might play out and how Tyson Fury has been recently. Spence, he thinks that A blessing in disguise, the Ngannou performance.
Yeah, listen, it could be the wake-up call that he needed. You know, if you look at that performance, you go on that performance and he performs like that again tonight, he's in big, big trouble. But, you know, sometimes a fighter needs that, you know, just to sort of relight the fire, if you like. And I think that could be the case for Tyson Fury, because look at the condition he's in now to what he was then. I know that when there's no fear factor with a fighter, they will underperform, whether they think they've trained enough, whether they think they've hit the diet right. You know, I think the Tyson Fury thought he only had to turn up to win that contest. That was a rude awakening for him, and that would have been the wake-up call that he needed going into a fight like this. And that cut could have done him a favour as well, because the cut which delayed the fight, has given him even more preparation, and that might have done Tyson Fury a favour. On the flip side, the soft tissue there may be a problem. So, look, I think it could have been the wake-up call that he needed, because it has to be the best Tyson Fury we've seen. And, you know, I think that was the little wake-up call.
We're going to find out later on whether it's the best Tyson Fury that we've ever seen. You are listening to the King of Kings watch-along, Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. I'm Adam Casserole. Pleasure, as always, to be in your company. You can listen to this on talkSPORT. You can check it out if you want to watch what we're getting up to on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. Spencer Oliver alongside me, Sonny Edwards, and, of course, Adam Smith. Sonny, Adam, if I can come to you, because you boys are keeping an eye on this epic fight that is currently going on between Joe Cordina and Anthony Cacace. Cordina was down in the third. He was down heavy in the third, but he seems to have got his legs back underneath him, and he's rallying a little bit now.
Sonny and I can't take our eyes off this. I mean, it's been fantastic with Ricky and Spencer and yourself, but this is terrific. Anthony Cacace, yeah, I mean, on the verge, wasn't he, Sonny? On the verge of stopping Cordina, but back Joe comes into the sixth round. It's like a barroom brawl, isn't it? Both centre ring, in the pocket, fabulous.
Yeah, we was all in here really half calling for the stoppage, the towel, the ref, someone to come in and save Joe Cordina, but even though he's taken some shots now, he managed to see the final bell. And I think what was interesting that we kind of missed when we was talking about Usyk and Fury is the big shot that seemed to start the whole series of events seemed to be on the break, seemed to be quite a cheeky shot that the ref even gave him a little bit of time, but not much, Joe Cordina to recover from. And then the next exchange, he got hurt again, and 20 seconds later he was down heavy. And that last round, I think Joe just caught him back quite cleanly.
He looks like a man possessed here tonight, Cacace. Reminds me a little bit of when Ricky fought Kostas. He just looks like he won't be denied here. He's all over Cordina. Joe's having his moments, but Cacace's not going anywhere.
And there's another little cheeky one on the break there. I don't know if you saw that, gentleman, just as we were breaking away there.
It's just relentless, isn't it, from Cacace? He's just like, he's a man on a mission tonight. He really is. Whatever Cordina's doing, Cacace's answering it and coming back with more. You know, he's so determined. He recognises this fight game is all about opportunity. Cacace, if you look at where he's at, 2017, losing to Martin J. Ward for that British title, you think, would he ever reach these heights? Would he ever get the opportunity? You know, you go back to the days like Steve Robinson, when he boxed for the world featherweight title and got that opportunity against John Davison. And 24 hours notice. But some fighters just take that opportunity and they perform out of their skin.
9 defences he had, Steve Robinson,
Absolutely.
after that.
And we are seeing that from Cacace here. He's a man on a mission. Big right hand, and uppercut coming.
That's been a money shot for him, that
and
uppercut.
again, another body shot.
He's in trouble.
He's going down again.
Cordina's up against the ropes.
Saved
Again,
by
the bell
saves
him.
at the end of the sixth.
Some courage going on there. Wow.
This is some fight.
I was ringside commentating when Joe Cordina won the belt back off Rakhimov. And one thing that really, really impressed me and stood out, that challenger mindset, the eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
Even when he was really in the middle of the fire and some heavy, clean shots were landing, there was almost like no flinch, no reaction. He stayed there. And I couldn't believe Joe Cordina had so much resilience and toughness in firing back in front of the fire.
I think they call it in
but
South America.
But what's interesting, though, is you'd probably argue that Rakhimov is a far bigger puncher than Cacace. But it's like tonight, every clean shot that's landing seems to be affecting him. Is it Cacace's coming here to change his life? Cordina might have had one eye over. And, you know, that sort of percentage switch of mind mentality, that's losing the eye of the tiger. That's what that whole process is about. When you go in there and you think they're a little bit easy, like we mentioned with Fury and Ngannou, all of a sudden, when you're 2-3 rounds in and you're down, like both cases, it always seems to be quite similar. Now you're having to dig yourself out of a shovel, and I think Cordina's done a good job at getting back into it, but another big shot from Cacace landing. And
I don't know how it's gone to the second half, this one.
No, it's listen, it's fascinating, and we're going to keep you across it, no doubt. We'll be right back after the break with all the latest on the biggest fight of the last 25 years. This is talkSPORT's King of Kings. Don't go anywhere. This is talkSPORT's King of Kings, the Usyk versus Fury watch along. I'm Adam Catterall. Pleasure to be with you as always. Spencer Oliver, Sonny Edwards, and Adam Smith with me too. You can tune in to us on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. We've got a spanky, nice, swish type of studio which you can see us in our lovely settings. All right, come on, get stuck into it. Let's talk all things Tyson Fury, shall we? We'll do a big preview on Alexander Usyk in a minute, but I want to talk Tyson Fury. Where are you at with him regarding resume? He comes out and he says, I'm the greatest of this era. Has he clarified that yet? Is it nailed on that yet, or does he nail that on tonight?
He nails it on tonight. He's the #1 heavyweight as we speak at the moment, you know, and it's what goes with Tyson Fury in the story, the inspirational story from where he come from, you know, to to winning that world title against Klitschko 2015 out in Dusseldorf. You go like against all the odds. Disappeared for 2 years, you know, lost his way, come back overweight, lost that weight again. We never thought that he would ever get in any sort of condition to fight again, let alone win the world title. We had a couple of little warm-ups, goes in against Deontay Wilder. We think he's going to get obliterated, and he pulls off the draw. He should have got the victory, really, then gets the victory in that second contest. I mean, that was, you know, brilliant. And Joe Cordina,
Anthony Cacace has just become the world champion at super featherweight. What a win! What a win for him!
It's a sensational win. Anthony Cacace, just talk us through the first couple of rounds, because he looked like he was just a touch off the pace with Cordina being in front, maybe the first 6 minutes, and then all of a sudden the third round, he flipped it on its head.
Yeah, so my ADHD kicked in about a minute into the first round when I was talking about Usyk and Fury still, and I watched it. And for the first couple of rounds, I feel like Cordina was setting a nice pace. He was landing the shots that were standing out. Were cleaner shots. I think they recorded at 1.6 clean shots to none, really. But yeah, I don't know if there was a couple of shots before that just made Cordina hold his feet a little bit more and be a bit more susceptible. But the moment that late hook from the break landed, for me, it just seemed like he never really recovered in that instance. And then when he's down heavy, you know, we're kind of crying out for the stoppage then, maybe 4 rounds earlier than it came. And he did very well, as all great champions do, Joe Cordina, to come back and sort of establish a foothold back in the fight, maybe won a round or two.
Yeah.
But the moment Cacace really just started volume punching, he was finding the target too easy to hit, and when he was getting through with a clean shot, it was affecting Joe way more than I was expecting.
It's an outstanding victory. Joe Cordina's no mug. Obviously, he's world champion. He's been there, done it, got the T-shirt. But we said, regarding activity, regarding fitness, whether you can stay fit, Anthony Cacace is absolutely a legit opponent. What a fantastic victory.
Adam, they've dubbed this the Ring of Fire out there, and that's what it was in their brutal fight. It really was. And Anthony Cacace he wanted it so much. He was desperate for victory. He's been inactive. He's played the waiting game. Joe Cordina, terrific fighter, legitimate, proper world champion, and loses for the first time in his life. And Cacace, body shots to head, and 2 or 3 times looked like he was on the verge of the stoppage, and then finally gets it done. It was relentless. A wonderful performance from the man from Belfast, and he's a deserved world champion on that.
No, it's sensational. Listen, the world is his oyster after a performance like that. Brilliant from Anthony Cacace. Congratulations to him. He's the IBF world champion. Wow, stopping Joe Cordina in the 7th. Jeez, let's get back to Tyson Fury, shall we? Because that's why we're here. We're all here to talk about, obviously, the Carl Frampton's a big friend of Anthony Cacace, and he's absolutely delighted that his mates managed to pull
Lovely guy, Anthony Cacace. Lovely guy.
He is.
Huge upset, that.
It is. It's a big upset. It's a great win for Anthony Cacace. Congratulations to him. Regarding Tyson Fury, we're just talking about resumes and victories and the big fights. And this is the question that I'll throw. I'll come to you first and foremost, Sonny, because you're a guy that's obviously chasing the big fights, chasing the legacy fights. Does Tyson Fury fight enough of the big fights often enough?
If we're playing devil's advocate, I think there's been times where he's seemingly been the issue. I don't know, maybe that's unfair, but all the other fighters seem to have kind of got in the ring with each other at some point. As far as resume before the Klitschko, was it the strongest? Probably not. I can famously remember Eddie Hearn saying he was the most boring heavyweight boxer of all time, and he'd never watch one of his fights again. And no one was in a rush to really defend Tyson Fury. And I've always liked Tyson Fury. I can remember being in Jimmy Egan's gym in Manchester. My brother was winning national titles, and we was training in there when we was in the area. But I don't know. I think this is the fight, this moment, this bringing all the belts together. is kind of the cement. He's done everything he's needed to. He's won all the belts against Klitschko. He's come back. He's beat Wilder, who was the man and the champion to a certain degree at the time. I think maybe now there's maybe a few question marks on that win for me. At the time, I felt like once Tyson realised all he had to do was feint and then step forward, and Wilder kind of slowly moved back and didn't throw anything back. I think with one fight, he kind of got his key and then just kept doing it. I think against Ngannou, someone that is very raw in boxing experience, but in terms of pure fighting experience and calm and composure, all Ngannou did was have to fight from his terms. All he did was stand off him, hold his feet and throw with Fury, and all of a sudden it was a fight that devil's advocate again, but could have went either way for me.
He was terrible against Ngannou. We just saw Vladimir Klitschko arrive in the building. Vladimir was hot favourite to beat Tyson Fury. We were there and in Germany, and it was a great performance from Tyson. He was. It wasn't a great fight, but it was a fantastic performance to win that. You know, the lineal champion still, and against Deontay Wilder, you pick yourself up off the floor in that miraculous moment in the final round of the first fight. I was there ringside for the second fight, which I think is one of the great performances by any British fighter on foreign soil. I thought he was absolutely fabulous. But the third fight, as epic as it was, a bit like the Bo Holyfield series, Adam, that might have taken a lot out of Tyson Fury because he was awful against Ngannou. Does he get himself ready for the big occasion? Is it all about that moment? He's whipped himself into terrific shape. He believes he can do it again. And if he does, fabulous. Take all our hats off to him. But can he go to the well again? He's only 35. He's 2 years younger than Usyk, but he's probably the oldest 35 in terms of boxing. I mean, that all those years ago when he sort of lost to John McDermott for the English title, it seems like a lifetime ago.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because you can frame it in so many different ways with facts and stats. If you look at championship fights, he's had 6 world title fights, that's all. And if you compare that to somebody else in his era like Anthony Joshua, who's had 12, then obviously that's half the amount. Defences. He's only had 3 defences, you know? And 2 of those guys he's already previously beaten. But you could also frame it in a different way this evening. If he does win this fight tonight, he goes alongside Muhammad Ali as the only other guy to win the Ring Magazine belt on 3 occasions.
Sure. Yeah,
so it does come down to the way it is framed, but it just feels as a person that has lived through the time of Tyson Fury that exactly what Adam said. We get the signature wins. I don't think anybody's going to argue that he's got the signature wins. The Klitschko win away from home, the Wilder second fight away from home, absolutely outstanding. But then in between, we get these Tom Schwartz fights. We get these Francis Ngannou fights.
Poor performances.
But we also get fights that we're like, are we really that bothered about them?
Yeah, but for me, it's apart from those 2, you're going to have a hard time really convincing someone that there's really too many worthwhile wins on his record. I think that's the problem. I think
there's not a big resume.
And I think maybe it comes down to Tyson being a big game player. When the stakes are all the way through the roof, he delivers. But when it's somewhere in between, he keeps his eye off the ball. Maybe Camp's not as good. So I think maybe he knows that about himself. So maybe that's why we see the Whites and the Chisoras, maybe fights we expect him to win.
He knows how vital this is, but the Ngannou performance was his last one. We've had the cut that's postponed this. There are question marks. Jaya Pattaya as well. There was rumours that he floored Tyson in training. So
that second Wilder fight, we're 4 years removed from that, aren't we?
A long time ago. But then Usyk's coming off the strange fight against Daniel Dubois. So, you know, you can look at it both ways.
Of course.
But for Fury, he loves a big performance. He loves it.
He does. And the thing that I'm getting from interviews, just the aura that he's giving off this week, it does feel a little bit like Wilder 2.
When he backs up against the wall, that's when he does perform. But it's all about lifestyle, man. At this stage of their careers, they're both in the twilight of their careers. Tyson Fury, 35. Alexander Usyk, 37. But Usyk's lived a life. Right, Tyson Fury hasn't lived a life. You know, in between those great performances, he's sort of gone off the rails a little bit, puts on a load of weight. That takes a toll on the body, and that also takes a toll on performances.
That is a superb point.
And going off that last performance, you go, is it that he underprepared, or have the wheels just come off? That's what we're going to find out here. But it doesn't matter. If he's in great shape, that will not matter. If the fight has left him, it has left him. And that's what we're going to find out tonight.
Do you know where the wheels have come off? the wheels have come off in the Redwood because Ollie Klink is in there right now, and I believe that there's a party going on that we've not been invited to, gentlemen. We're obviously in the studio being very professional, drinking the H2O. Look at this guy. Look at his face there. Absolutely having a whale of a time. Ollie, what's going on down there, matey?
Man, as if you are saying that I'm being unprofessional tonight. I can't believe that from you. Gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the pub. I'm in the Redwood Sports Bar and Grill. It's filling up very nicely indeed. Every table is reserved. The pints are flowing. El Vino is flowing. And Catman, there's a smell in the air, and it's a mix of chicken wings and anticipation. We cannot wait for this fight tonight. I've spoken to a few punters already. Some are going for Usyk, some are going for Fury. There's a real mix. Some want Fury to win, some want Usyk to win. Who knows what's going to happen? All I know is one thing is for sure. I have got the best job tonight because, boys, I'm Ollie and this is my first drink.
Oh, my days. Here he goes. Listen, we need to set you a few tasks, my friend. We need to get a little bit of a sing-along a la very Tyson Fury, maybe a little bit of a chant for Team Usyk. You need to find those pockets of fans in and around to create that atmosphere for people that are watching along with us here on talkSPORT. Is that all right, mate?
Absolutely, mate. We'll have American Pie ringing through this pub all night. Don't you worry about it.
And you'll be leading it, no doubt. Absolutely superb. Listen, top man, thank you very much, Ollie. We'll be back with you shortly. Make sure you stick with us throughout the course of tonight for all the latest on the biggest fight of the last 25 years. This is talkSPORT. King of Kings. Don't go anywhere. What a night. This is talkSPORT's King of Kings, the Usyk versus Fury watch-along. I'm Adam Catterall. Pleasure to be with you. Spencer Oliver, Sonny Edwards and Adam Smith alongside me in the talkSPORT dungeon. Look at this. Look at that. What a studio we've got lined up tonight. Make sure you're checking us out on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. Let's get stuck into all things Alexander Usyk, shall we? Because he was absolutely a sensational cruiserweight on the road, mopping up the divisions, collecting the belts, wiping out the best of the best. He stepped up to heavyweight and he's kind of set off where he left off in the cruiserweight division. As you compare multi-weight world champions, whether it be modern era or yesteryear, where does this fella rank?
Well, listen, he's done nothing wrong so far as he's 21 unbeaten, you know, and he stepped up and he slowly got into it. He had a couple of performances, that one against Derek Chisora. You go, well, I'm not sure this guy's going to adjust. I'm not sure he's going to adapt. I don't think he's going to be big enough for a heavyweight. Chisora showed the blueprint in many ways is to just go and bully him, pull it on him. Don't let him get into any sort of rhythm. But he worked it out towards the end and nicked the fight. Then then since then, the 2 performances against Anthony Joshua, he took control. He got that southpaw front foot on the outside, and he made things very difficult for Joshua. He dominated and even put it on Joshua a lot, the bigger guy, and put him on that back foot. So he showed that he can actually mix it with the big guys. He can take the play away from them. What Alexander Usyk is great at, he's got great foot movement. He works well from either side. He makes his opponent think. He sets traps and he draws and he punches in bunches. He does what a cruiserweight does, but up at heavyweight. And that's very, very effective. And that's what I say. If he gets into any sort of rhythm and he goes and pulls this one off against the bigger Tyson Fury, he's going to go down in history as one of the all-time greats. He has to.
We've got some good fighters on the planet right now. With Inoue, Crawford, that are in that conversation for pound #1. This fella's in that conversation for me. If he pulls this off tonight, does he go to the top of the shop, given the fact that the weight jump from cruiser to heavy and the fighter that he's fighting tonight is such a big jump compared to the little guys?
Yeah, maybe just behind Bam Rodriguez. I don't know, maybe. I don't know why you're laughing. For me, anyway. I don't know for anyone else. I've been in the ring with him. Yeah, maybe the winner goes top, but then again, I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? Pound for pound, the list changes. We could put our pound for pound, and then people could say that's the talkSPORT pound for pound list.
But what Usyk's done from a body of work point of view, all on the road.
Yeah,
at cruiserweight, wiped everybody out.
The problem I've always had with picking anyone at any point against Usyk, and this has been the truth, is because when I first knew who Usyk was, I was the 12, 13-year-old amateur boxer. When he was coming over to York Hall to fight Joe Joyce and, sorry Joe, standing him on his head in a way that's like, wow, he's so much smaller than him. He's meant to be the weight below. He's nearly double the size of him. Like, how did he just do that? If at that time, Usyk, who was the Olympic gold medalist, the world champion and all of the other accolades he had, if at that time you told me that in a few years he's going to be the pro heavyweight and, try and pick someone to beat him, I wouldn't have had anyone. Because when he wanted to go to cruiserweight to heavyweight, he qualified for the Olympics without even breaking a sweat, beat everyone, all the best at that weight. And then he qualified and went, actually, I'll just go down at cruiserweight and won Olympic gold. So he has always shown that he can go up weights, even as an amateur, and beat absolutely everyone. So he, for me, has always been him and Lomachenko, I think. But when he turned, he had a bit more life left and a bit more spark, where at his weight, the age didn't affect him as much as what it has with Loma. But two of them two, just boxing, top 15 of all time for me, just probably didn't even get the accolades in the pros with not being from England or America or somewhere that's more typical with their professional boxing style.
How do you compare him to Evander? Because everybody, when they talk about cruiserweights that step up to heavyweight, Evander was the guy. How do you compare Alexander?
He was the guy, Evander. Very, very different fighter, but already put Alexander Usyk as one of the all-time greats. Full stop. 335 wins as an amateur against 15 defeats. Olympic gold medalist, world amateur champion, gold. Turned pro, cleaned up at cruiserweight, undisputed, Super Series trophy, made the transition to heavyweight, double over AJ. Come on, this guy is an absolute genius. And not just that, he's always fit, as Spencer pointed out earlier. He's brilliantly athletic. He's a fantastic acrobat. He juggles. His balance is unbelievable. And he's a great guy. He's a family man. He's been fighting on the front line for his country. Alexander Usyk is a legend. That's it, period. He's 37 years of age. If he wins tonight, it's just the icing on the cake. He can call it a day right there and then. But he's already will go down as one of the all-time greats. And Evander Holyfield, of course, the real deal. Loved spending time with him in camp with him. Unbelievable. There for the Riddick Bowe fights all the way through, despite the double defeat, I believe, against Lennox Lewis. He never stopped. The win over Tyson was just, it was an incredible win, the first one. And I just think, Holyfield, unbelievable what he did. Light heavy, really as an amateur, cruiserweight, king, the best ever. Johnny might argue, the best ever. And then into the heavyweight division and fighting a guy like Riddick Bowe in their first fight, one of the great fights of all time. Bowe Holyfield won. But I tell you what, Usyk, absolute legend for me.
How does he navigate this puzzle then tonight?
Well, it's about taking control and just getting into a rhythm, making Tyson Fury fall short. What he does is he controls the space so well. He'll get that front foot, lead foot on the outside. He'll make Fury draw Fury's jab. He'll make him fall just a little bit short, and then he comes back with clusters of punches. That's what he does so well. He controls the space, and that's who wins the fight in this one. Whoever controls that space and gets it right. Usyk has great timing. Timing could be key to victory in this one.
The key thing that, whenever I speak to Tony Bellew about fighting Alexander Usyk, he talks about the geography of the fight, and he makes you work when you don't necessarily want to work, of which obviously burns you out. That must be a mental nightmare when you're in the ring with somebody.
Yeah, and I think what he does so well is the moment he's out of danger, he kind of knows, and then he starts doing what he wants to do straight away. I think what also makes it hard, especially up at heavyweight, is unlike many other people his size, he's got this constant flow of movement as if he's half dancing, like a flyweight, really.
Yeah.
Someone that doesn't really want to ever sit still. He's transferring his body weight to the right side, and then he's coming to the left, and then he might stop to the left, and he's stepping, and he might, he's always got some sort of, Tai Chi-esque movement flow going through his body. What it allows him to do is put his body there and not take it, and then come here, and then put his body there and not take it. But by the third time he gets it, he sees the opening, he already knows it's going to be, so then when he does throw, he can throw like it's already worked. He hasn't got to have doubt because he's already put himself there and seen the opening. And then when he gets there and it's the same conditions, he just fires. So I think he gets into a monotonous rhythm that I think was the main thing that AJ struggled with. For the first few rounds while he was trading at levers, AJ had some success, but the moment he just went, all right, okay, now I'm going to start grinding you down, he just upped the pace a little bit, 10%. And for someone so much bigger, Spence, you was the first one so far, and I was surprised that really mentioned Tyson Fury's size advantage when, for the other two fights that the fight was supposed to happen, I feel like it was the only thing that anyone everywhere was talking about. The size, you've got to go over that. But as it sort of eked closer, it's now more about skills, it's more about space, it's more about camps, it's more about lifestyle, last fight. So it's a very, very interesting fight, but I think Usyk is just a bit of a puzzle, and I think if Fury doesn't hurt him, and if Fury's strength doesn't show like big dividends like, say, Cacace did just against Cordina, then I can't see Usyk losing this fight. I think there has to be a moment and moments that he's landing and hurting. Even like a Dubois, if Dubois can hurt Usyk to the body, Tyson Fury can. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think he needs it. I think the rhythm and the efficiency of someone 3, 4, 5 inches tall, smaller, and coming from a smaller weight and lifestyle, like Spence was saying before. I don't know. I think his engine and his movement and the axis that he fights on will be so completely different to who Tyson Fury has been in the ring with, because he's kind of been in against big stiffs for the most part.
Love it. Just listening to you guys gets me even more excited about what is to come. Before we continue, let's hear a clip from the latest episode of Talk Boxing with Simon Jordan and Spencer Oliver. Look at him, he's even advertising his own show on this show. This is ridiculous. This week, the boys gave their predictions ahead of tonight's huge fight.
I think it'll be a lot like the way you described it. I think they'll be cautious. I think we might have to yawn our way through the first couple of rounds. But I think Fury will lean on him. I think he'll slow him down with his weight. I think he'll pop him away around his midriff. And I think he'll knock him out in about 8 or 9.
Oh, you do? You think he'll knock him out? Interesting.
I think that Fury will want to knock him out. I think Fury will see it as a badge of honour to knock him out. And I think he'll work him out quickly, or try and work him out quickly. He worked out Wilder in the second fight. In the first fight, he got himself back into a condition where he could fight at that level. In the second fight, he decided to meet him in the middle of the ring. People say that's because that he potentially couldn't move around anymore. I'd say it's because he wasn't fearful of Wilder and he thought he could deal with him.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think Fury will work out Usyk in this fight. And I think he'll knock him out. Now, I might be the only person in the building that thinks that.
I could visualise that, and the reason being is because Fury will be wanting to be dominant in this one, like, as in he want to be using his attributes to his advantage. And what I've seen from Alexander Usyk, which I saw in the Dubois fight with the blow, whether it's a low blow, body shot, or whatever else is, but there are times when you look at Usyk and think he's not comfortable here, and he's like sort of like, if you bully him, he doesn't like it. Derek Chisora in the first half of that contest as well was all over him, but he looks uncomfortable when you do that. He's not a fighter that looks comfortable when you do that.
Talk Boxing with Simon Jordan and Spencer Oliver will return 8 o'clock Monday night, and guess what they're going to be talking about? I wonder. I wonder what you're going to be talking about. Going to be talking about the big one, of course. Make sure you stick around. We've got lots still to come. We'll be right back. Stay with us for this on talkSPORT's King of Kings. It's been 25 years since boxing crowned an undisputed heavyweight champion. Too many belts, politics, sanctioning bodies, rival broadcasters, promoters with their own agendas, and fighters navigating paths of least resistance. That all ends tonight as Saudi Arabian cash brings everyone together for the fight that we've all been waiting for. Welcome to the King of Kings, Fury versus Usyk watch-along on talkSPORT.
We've got the biggest fight of the 21st century taking place. It's never happened before, 4 belts on the line, and we're going to find out who the best heavyweight in the world is.
Introducing the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury!
Uppercut from Fury, followed by the left hand, and another right. Down goes the
The problem with Fury is he needs a challenge. I don't think he regarded Ngannou as a challenge, put out a stinker of a performance.
Oh! Fury's down! Fury is down! Has just happened.
My God. He knows he's in a challenge now.
I'm going to bust him. Sausage, ugly little man, rabbit.
Let the fight go on. Let
Get the press conference going,
man
sausage.
win.
Let your man
and
talk.
let the belts come back home to Ukraine.
Fighting for the people of Ukraine, Alexander
He can nullify the bigger guy's size.
Tyson Fury is going to win that fight on points.
We are talking about an enormous fight here. If the heavyweight division is good, boxing is good. And as I say, these are 2 of the best heavyweights. Undoubtedly number 1 versus number 2, whichever way you play it.
It's a belter. Can't wait to get stuck into this. We're moments away from the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. In the ring at the moment over in Saudi Arabia, we've got the IBF cruiserweight title taking place between Jai Opetaia and Maris Bredis. It's a vacant title fight, but we all know that it should be Jai Opetaia's title. He was ridiculously stripped a little earlier on in the year, but they're going at it again in the rematch. We'll keep you up to date with that right here on talkSPORT and the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, where you can watch along the whole night with myself, Adam Catterall, Spencer Oliver, Sonny Edwards and Adam Smith. Let's get back to the main event, Fury versus Usyk. Obviously, it's been building up throughout the whole course of the week. What have you made of both men's demeanours this week? The way that they spoke about each other at press conferences, maybe a little bit of weighing, not looking into each other's eyes. What have you made of everything that's been going in and around it?
Mind games. They're just playing mind games. Listen, fights can be won and lost, in the build-up, in the fight week. But these two, they're ultimate professionals. They've been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt. Tyson Fury is the master at getting inside his opponent's head. But guess what? Alexander Usyk is that guy as well. You never quite know what's going on inside those crazy eyes that he looks at. And we've been around him many times, going back to Tony Bellew back in 2018 when he boxed Tony Bellew, and you look at that and just knew that you was with someone that was special, someone that was going to be a superstar of the sport. And this is his chance now to prove it, to cement that legacy, to go down as one of the all-time greats. Demeanours of both guys, they both know what they're going into. They know what's on the line here. There's been a little bit of respect. There's been a bit of playful mind games going on, trying to get inside each other's heads. But ultimately, they both know what's on the line. It's all the marbles. They know what they're going into. They both know that they're in for the toughest fight of their lives.
Sonny, you've been in these big world title unifications, big fight weeks, loads of press attention, cameras in your face, interview after interview after interview. How stressful are they as a fighter that just wants to get to Saturday night, ring the first bell and let's get this thing on? How much do you have to navigate fight week?
Firstly, before we get to that, I think that it was right that the IBF stripped. You said ridiculously stripped.
Yes.
I think if you fight Jordan Thompson and Ellis Zora in back-to-back fights as the world champion, you deserve to be stripped.
I'll come back to that in a minute.
But going back to the stress, I feel like, I don't know, case by case is different. Personalities come out. I'll be real. I think the best weeks of my life has probably been fight weeks. I enjoy it. I enjoy the process.
That's your personality.
Yeah,
Do you have to be a special character to be able to deal with it, do you think?
I don't know if I'm a special character, but I feel like it depends what you're in boxing for. It depends what you're in boxing for. I really just enjoy the process. I know what I sort of have to do. I know how maybe to get people talking, but just there's going to be a day probably in 10, 15 years when I'm Spencer's age.
How old are you?
28.
20 years.
He was laughing, thinking I did you dirty. But like I said, when I'm Spencer's age, I'll probably be thinking back to me sat here right now with a fight in 6 weeks and wish to the death of me that I was still there. 100%. I know why, because win, lose or draw, I'm addicted to fighting. So if I weren't doing it in the big arena, I'm probably still going to find a ring to get some rounds in. I kind of need it in my week. It's a bit sad, but I think it depends what in reason for. If you just want to be famous and you just want the money, then I don't know, maybe that might seem like a burden, having to go fly there. For me, it's like we're going on holiday.
I think champions feed off that. That's what it is. That when you get to that fight week and the champions, they're the ones that feed off that nervous energy and they turn that into a positive energy, and that's why they're champions and not challengers. And I think that's what sort of Sonny's getting at, that fight week where they actually enjoy it because they feed off that pressure. That brings out the best in them, and that's that adrenaline rush is what you chase the whole time when it's gone. When your career's over, that's what you miss. And that's...
I think us in the media love the fight more than anything. It's the build-up, isn't it? The anticipation.
The conversations that we have.
Of course, the little tidbits you get on fight week. We all absolutely love that. But if you're looking at Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, consummate, seasoned, experienced, world champions, professionals, they're not going to be bothered too much by it. Everyone else is talking. We all want to make stories up, but fundamentally, they know what the task in hand is tonight. They know their reputation's on the line here. Yes, they're making millions, but one of them is going to be crowned undisputed. First time in a quarter of a century. They know how big this is. Never mind the mind games. They're both right on it.
It's going to be something tonight, isn't it? It's going to be something. Just the pomp and ceremony throughout the whole course of the week has been absolutely sensational. In the ring at the moment, we've got Jai Opetaia and Maris Briedis. Just a quick touch upon this particular fight because the first fight took place 2 years ago and it was absolutely sensational. Took place down under. Maris Briedis travelled as the champion away from home. Started very slow in that first fight. Broke his nose in the first 4 rounds. Then Jai Opetaia had the lead at the first half, maybe the first 7 rounds. Briedis finished that fight extremely well, but he hasn't been in action for the last 2 years, Briedis. It's going to be interesting to see what a 39-year-old version of himself looks like tonight.
Because anyone that hasn't seen that fight, go back on YouTube and watch it. And it was a brutal fight. You know, when that uppercut landed in that 4th round and Maris Briedis broke his nose, you thought the fight was over then. You know, it was slipping away from him for a couple of rounds, but he'd done what champions do. He was the best of the division at that time, and he turned it around. He bit down on his gum shield. It was the first time Jai Opetaia had been at that sort of level, and he was shown what it was all about. You know, he was taken into deep waters in the later rounds. I think it was round 10 or 11. He broke his jaw in 2 places, and he had to hang on for dear life, really, in that last round, in the 12th round. And Maris Briedis was pushing on. It was a close fight. Jai Opetaia rightly won that. But since then, you know, Opetaia, he's been the more active of the two. He's had those 2 fights. But yes, they have been low-key, but they still, that, you know, gets rid of that ring rust. And for me, Maris Briedis, at this late stage of his career with a 2-year break, is going to find it really tough tonight.
Just on the stripping of the belt, right? And I agree with you regarding the level of opponent, right?
I didn't know where he was going with that at first.
Right? So
I thought he was talking about the after party in the pub.
So I agree with you regarding the level of opponent. Of course, the 2 gentlemen that Jai Opetaia has fought in his comeback since the Briedis fight are absolutely beneath the level that he should be competing at. He took a year out, didn't he, because of his broken jaw. He did have fights mandated and people pulled out on him. People like Masternak and what have you pulled out on him. Briedis pulled out on him because he was injured as well.
He wasn't ready for that date. He wasn't ready for that date.
Right.
So he went and Jai Opetaia consciously decided that after having a voluntary...
But that was for injury, wasn't it? He wasn't ready.
Jordan Thompson, no, they was wanting a different date 6 weeks later or something, all within the
Of which he agreed to.
Date.
He agreed to take the Briedis fight.
But he couldn't not fight.
Because it was the biggest payday of his life, wasn't it?
Exactly, but you don't get to take, you know...
What if he could do both? And he was saying he could do both.
But him saying he can do both, once you've got mandated and the governing body of the belt that you are the champion of, like, we can have an opinion on it all we want, but I just don't disagree with their opinion. I think if you're a world champion and regardless, you need to fight, not Ellis Zorro, a British level fighter.
Well, the number 1,
you need to fight someone. Briedis, okay, not Briedis, well, the next person, not... Oh, no, I'm fighting him because we can do this all over and make loads of money and it's an easy fight. No,
and that's a fair point.
That's not how it goes, because once we do that, how many times are we going to keep giving these, OK, don't worry about that massive fight that we've been waiting for ages. Just go and have an easy rollout. Like, that shouldn't, if you want those, you shouldn't be holding a world title. When you're in a world title, every fight should be the top challenges, the best possible right now. It shouldn't be, I'm a world champion, let me rinse out this contract for 2-3 fights.
That's a fair point. He gets the opportunity tonight to win it back, doesn't he?
Exactly, and silver lining, he becomes a 2-time world champion. So even better, he gets another belt as well, even better. So if anything, the IBF did him a massive favour. Defend it a couple more times, he gets another ring. So
we're 2 rounds into it. How's it started for you, Adam? Have you just been keeping an eye across that? Looks like there were a little bit of action there just as it was getting going in the second.
Yeah, cagey, bit Jabbataya, fast start, nice left hand there. He's got centre ring. I really like him. I think he's a fantastic fighter. Jordan Thompson, good friend of mine actually, Ellis Zorro. Yes, Zorro jumped up in levels, was wiped out in a round. I was there, I was ringside. It was a brutal knockout. Yeah. I travelled back with Ellis actually, and I don't think he'd seen anything like it. I mean, Opataya is a very, very good fighter, and I expect him to go on to do brilliant things both at cruiser and at heavyweight. I think Spencer's right. 2 years out for Bradis is a problem here. Inactivity, slightly slower, 39 now. He looks sharp, Opataya, and I think he'll win this. Look at, he's putting on the pressure early on, and if he hurts Bradis early, well, he could get that stoppage.
He's tough.
Youth and freshness is going to play a part in this one, definitely. You see the big shots going in there. Opataya's started this one really, really well.
We'll keep you across it. And we've got a main event, of course, to come very, very shortly. That's what you're all waiting for, the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship of the World, as Alexander Usyk defends 3 of his titles. And Tyson Fury brings his belt to the table as well for the Undisputed Championship fight. Enjoying this contest, not just ourselves in the studio and you watching this at home, is our man, Ollie Klink. There he is. He's in the Redwood Boozer. Are you with anybody at the moment, Ollie? Is anybody around to get stuck in and maybe give us a few fight predictions?
They are indeed. Everyone's enjoying the liquid refreshments here. And one of those people, Catman, is Jonathan. Jonathan, what's going to happen tonight, mate? Come on. You're a big boxing fan. What's happening on this big one?
I think if Fury does not stop Usyk, I think Usyk will win on points. And it could be a draw in my eyes. I don't know, I'm so undecided, but I believe if Tyson Fury, who fought Wilder the second time, turns up, I think he stops Usyk, puts him away, no problem. But Usyk, I feel like he wants it more, I can't lie, and I feel like that's going to make him. I feel like Usyk might win, to be fair. I'm so undecided, I don't know.
You covered yourself with that prediction, mate, haven't you? Yeah, anything could happen.
I'm not betting on this one.
Right, who do you want to win, though? Who are you backing tonight?
I do want Usyk to win. Like, I know Tyson Fury is like from Britain and everything, but like in my eyes, Usyk's the hero and Fury's the villain in this. So I do want Usyk to win. Like, but they're both good guys, and I rate them both.
I know you've been a bit of a fighter yourself. If there's a knockout tonight, in shadow boxing, can you show me how it's going to happen? How's Fury going to knock someone out? If you were going to shadow box it, go on, show the camera how you would do it. Go on.
I reckon Fury's going to just bully him to the body. So I reckon he's just going to go on, son. Put him on the floor.
No one is messing with Jonathan in the Redwood tonight, let me tell you that. Finally, everyone knows Tyson Fury's victory song, mate. Everyone knows it. American Pie. Go on, give us a bit of a flavour of it. I'll start it off. My Miss American Pie.
Sold my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. The good old boys who sing whiskey and rye, singing this will be the day that I die.
Unbelievable. Jonathan, fantastic, mate. Great to have you here. Enjoy the fight. You covered yourself with all those predictions, as we said. What a voice as well, lads. It's kicking off in here. Are you feeling a bit thirsty, boys?
What is going on? What is going on in the Redwood? Singing, bit of karaoke, getting stuff. We've got shadow boxing, alcohol infueled. I'll tell you what, unbelievable scenes from Ollie Klink. We'll be checking in with them throughout the course of the night. We'll be right back with all the latest and the biggest fight of the last 25 years. This is talkSPORT's King of Kings. This is talkSPORT's King of Kings, the Usyk versus Fury watch-along. I'm Adam Catterall. Pleasure as always to be in your company. Spencer Oliver, Sonny Edwards and Adam Smith alongside me for Fury versus Usyk. It's going to be an absolute banger a little bit later on this evening. Currently in the ring right now, Jai Opetaia and Maris Bredis going at it for a second time. And earlier this week, Jim White caught up with cruiserweight star Jai Opetaia to look ahead to this fight that is currently taking place, talking about the vacant IBF world title.
So you know about this guy, the Latvian Maris Bredis, because you've fought him before and you beat him. How do you feel about going into this one? Because the last fight was described by someone close to me as a proper war. What's going to happen?
I'm expecting another 12 rounds of war. Prepared for war. So I feel like I've got an answer for anything he brings, man. I'm pumped for this one. I know it's going to be a difficult fight. I'm not expecting an easy fight. I've been pushing my body to the limits. I'm ready to get it on.
Am I right in thinking that Bredis broke your jaw last time, Jai, and yet you still won out in the end?
Yeah, I broke my jaw in 2 spots.
So I mean, how tough is this opponent? Because you're going to have to go some, are you, to do the same again, to beat him again?
Mate, if I got to break my jaw and win the fight again, so be it. You know what I mean? Losing isn't an option to me, so I'm willing to dig deep and go in those deep waters.
What did you learn about him from the first fight?
He's a tough opponent as well. I hit him with some big shots. It was a 12-round war, like you said. A lot of backwards and forwards sort of exchanges. So I'm expecting the same thing. I'm expecting a hard fight. I'm prepared for a hard fight. So, whatever he brings, we just got to work it out. We got to adapt in the ring, and we got to keep winning those rounds.
How different a fighter, how improved a fighter are you 2 years on?
I feel good. I feel great. I feel like a whole different version of myself. I'm excited for this fight. I'm excited to showcase a career best performance. I feel like Bredis is a great opponent. And, to beat him, it's going to take the best. He's going to bring the best out of me. So it's an exciting fight.
Jai, I spoke to you before, and you're a man who doesn't flinch in terms of what you've got to do. You set yourself high standards, high goals. And right now, it seems to me, it's no different.
Just another day in the office. You know what I mean? We live and breathe this sport. This sport's all I know. So, we just got to get in the ring and do what we do. I feel like this is my time. I know a lot of boxers say that sort of stuff, but this is my time. I feel like Bredis has been a great fighter. He's had a great record. He's got. He's done great things for the cruiserweight division. But I believe I'm the next generation of great coming through. I believe his time's over, and now it's my time to run this division.
Jai Opetaia speaking to Jim White a little earlier on this week on talkSPORT. He is some talent, Jai Opetaia, and we've been blessed in recent years, haven't we, with the cruiserweight division in particular. We've been speaking about Alexander Usyk and his run with the World Boxing Super Series when he was taking on the likes of Bredis, who's fighting tonight, the Gassieheads of this world, and he mopped up that division to become undisputed champion. We're blessed in this country with some decent cruiserweights as well. Do you anticipate, if Jai Opetaia is successful this evening, coming through Maris Bredis, that his next knock, as Sonny was saying, is a proper one against maybe one of the other champions?
Absolutely. Listen, we've got June the 15th. We've got Chris Billam-Smith defending his title against Richard Riakporhe. Them guys are going to be looking to get in the mix. They're the fights. I think Jai Opetaia has relit the cruiserweight division. Since Maris, Usyk moved up in weight. I think that, the cruiserweight division was maybe just a little bit flat. Jai Opetaia is the monster, the outstanding guy in the division. He is the man to beat. And I think someone like Riakporhe, Chris Billam-Smith, the winner of that one, of course they want the shot because that's where the big money is. That's where the big fights are. Jai Opetaia is a sensational fighter.
You were saying a moment or two ago that you think he can go to heavy.
I do. I think he's very, very good. He's adaptable, and I think he's growing. He's young too, Jai, and he's a southpaw, and that makes him very, very dangerous. As we know, Alexander Usyk is going to prove, I think, tonight a real problem for Tyson Fury at times. And yes, I just like Jai. I think, he's had a couple of easier, I guess, opponents. I mean, Jordan Thompson was unbeaten when he went in there, probably a little bit too early for Jordan, and then Ellis Sorrow, who had that win in the tournament, but again, levels, but Jai's been a wonderful amateur, and I think he has improved. You heard there with the conversation with Jim that, you know, he says he feels he's better and he's going to put on a career best performance. And at the moment, it's looking like it will be that, Adam. He just looks in control. He's boxing smart behind that lovely southpaw jab, and he's, softening the body of Bradis, whose timing's a little bit off. Remember, Bradis won that Super Series, the second one.
Yeah.
You know, he's a very good fighter in his own right, 3-time cruiserweight champion, but Opataya, the young gun on the way up and a better fighter, in my opinion.
It's the educated pressure, isn't it? He's light on his feet as well, like Usyk was. You know, that's why I think that he will be successful up at heavyweight, because he's got that movement. You know, even though he's an aggressive and he's very heavy-handed, 19 of his 24 fights coming inside the distance, very heavy-handed, but he's educated in what he does, and that makes him dangerous.
Do you want an interesting fact on Jai Opataya? Check this out.
Shoot.
Check this out, and how it connects to this show. When I made the transfer over from music radio to sports radio, right?
Well, I don't know where you're going with this, but yeah, go on.
A Jai Opataya fight was the first ever fight that I worked on.
Wow.
2012 Olympics, he was 16 years of age,
Yeah,
representing his country at the XL Arena at the London 2012 Olympic Games. Jai Opataya.
Lost to the bronze medalist?
16. He lost to the bronze medalist, yes, but 16 years of age representing
I was there.
his
My brother
country.
boxed in it.
Sensational.
Wow.
Just imagine that, 16, getting called up representing...
I didn't even know you could box for your country at 16.
Well, he did. I think he actually fought the year before as well in some qualifiers.
The test event.
15,
the test
16,
event.
yeah. Very,
Really?
very young.
Wow.
So he's
seasoned.
And he's still young.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think he's... From listening to you guys speak about him, he feels like he's coming into his own, that maturity.
I think so.
He's been around the block a little bit. He had a wonderful first fight with Maris. And now he just feels like, I'm champion now.
I think there's a belief, there's a confidence, isn't there? And the people are talking about him, and he's sparring with Tyson Fury. And I think that there's a growing feeling that he is the next star. And of course, he's got Eddie, who's the best in the business at rolling it out. And I think after he beat Jordan Thompson, Eddie was like, this guy's going to be one of the pound-for-pound best. And he may not be wrong.
I think Marius, that was his coming-of-age fight when he boxed Marius Bradis the first time. That was the moulding of him as a fighter, you know, that he had to go there. That was the test to show that he's got those qualities and he can get down in the trenches and come through those rough patches. And I think that moulds a fighter, you know, and I think that's why I think we've seen him now elevate to another level as he's become champion. And we're seeing that here as it happens. I know that Marius Bradis is old and he's getting on a little bit, but that he's showing here. You can see the levels here with the speed, the timing, you know, and he's just dominating this fight at the moment.
To be fair, I think there's only one fight to make for the winner of this, really, and I think it's already halfway done. The winner of Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, I think makes perfect sense.
Marius has been chasing it.
Thank you, Spencer.
Yeah.
Stole it out of my mouth about 18 months ago, 2 years ago. I can remember Marius Bradis, champion of the world at that time, I think, dressed up as, was it Mario or something?
Super Mario, mate.
He got a tattoo on his backside of Jake Paul, didn't he?
So all I'm saying is the winner of this versus the winner of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul?
I think
Maybe?
more sensibly, Adam, let's talk about the British cruiserweights.
Yes.
As Spencer
What a
said,
great scene we've got right now.
Smith, June the 15th. You've got Isaac Chamberlain as well.
Lawrence Okoli.
Jordan Thompson will come back. Lawrence Okoli fighting for a world title again in Poland next week.
Live on talkSPORT.
Yeah, Vidal Riley, live on talkSPORT, very good. Double show.
There you go.
With the London
Live
York
on
All
talkSPORT.
GBM show, live on talkSPORT. Is that enough?
Yeah, I like that.
So much coming up on
on the
talkSPORT.
Isaac Chamberlain fight, because that's just changed, hasn't it? Because that's now going to be Jack Massey. That's
Yeah,
right,
Jack
isn't it?
Massey,
Because
Vidal Riley coming up, Chev Clark. I mean, they're all having a right go, weren't they? At the O2 the other week.
Chev's
But it's a really good domestic
Chev's
scene.
a good fighter.
It really is.
Really good.
Yeah, yeah. It's as strong as it's ever been.
And there's
I
a world
think, in this
title there
country.
for them all to have a little bit of a play around with.
Absolutely.
I think Chev Clark, out of all of them lot, is definitely the dark horse coming through. I think how comfortable he is in a firefight. I'm really looking forward to him getting in the mix. And the way the pace he's coming through, I think he's already beaten a couple people better than the Chris Billam-Smiths, the Reactors have already faced and not beaten as good. So I think he's coming for those names. And obviously you've got Lawrence Okoli back in the mix. It'll be interesting when if he wins the Bridgerweight title, whether he carries on going up, whether he stays there, whether he comes back down. I can't see him coming back down again for the Cruiserweight.
Looks like he'll be a heavyweight.
Yeah.
I think.
What are you pointing at, Spence? We're
Bradis
on the radio, mate.
Bradis is
People are
coming
watching
apart
us.
here. Yeah, I didn't want to jump in on anyone. But Bradis
Don't be
is
shy.
starting to come apart here, boys. He's looking in desperate trouble, bleeding heavily from the nose and just looking to grab now. And, you can just sense Jai Opataya feels that and he's pushing forward. this could be the beginning of the end for Bradis.
It's a scything job, this, from Opataya. He's really sharp tonight. Really sharp, Adam.
Looking good. He is looking good indeed. We'll keep you up to date with everything that's going on with Jai Opataya and Maris Bredis as we build up towards the big one. We're going to be right back after the break with all the latest on the biggest fight of the last 25 years. I know I keep telling you, but it's true. This is talkSPORT, King of Kings. Don't go anywhere. This is talkSPORT's King of Kings, the Usyk versus Fury watch-along. Earlier this week, Spencer caught up with actor and big boxing fan Danny Dyer to look ahead to tonight's undisputed heavyweight world title fight between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk.
Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. How excited are you for it?
Oh, mate, when it last got called off, I thought, oh, maybe that's it. Maybe this ain't going to happen. Maybe it just ain't meant to be. Maybe we're not meant to get the undisputed. You know what boxing's like? It's either full on, or it's people avoiding each other, or it's the ego to the promoters and all this sort of stuff. But these two men, they've got to have it off. It needs to be dealt with so that we can all move forward. You know what I mean? Because I think ultimately we do want the Fury Joshua fight, don't we?
Yeah, of course. I think that's, you know, for the British boxing fan, everyone wants that. And there's been a resurgence with Anthony Joshua in there in his last couple of performances. It's been a rebuilding program for him, really, since the defeats. And I mean, I don't know what you feel about it, Dan, but I feel that he's right back up at the top of the game now.
Oh, it's all set up perfectly, mate. There was a time where it was almost like, well, maybe it shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? When Joshua was going through his sort of period of, you know, obviously the Usyk thing, and I think now, and obviously Fury's got to come through this fight, but if he does, it's set up perfectly because obviously Fury struggled with Ngannou. Joshua just smashed him out within seconds. But if Fury can beat Usyk, then it's a level playing field again, where you go, oh right, so the geezer that Joshua couldn't get near, Fury's beat. but he also made a mug of Ngannou. So let's go to work, you know, and it's going to be huge.
What did you read into Fury's performance against Ngannou? Do you reckon it was just that he took his eye off the ball, he didn't train properly, or do you reckon it was just one of those, there was no fear factor there for him? And it was just, he just seemed to be underprepared, didn't he?
Well, I don't think you can prepare. I don't think anyone could have prepared for Ngannou because it was his first fight, so there was that. But I think Fury said it himself. He needs to be up for it. He needs to be turned on by it, I think is the words he's used recently. Yeah. And I don't think he doesn't get turned on by Chisora or Dillian White or especially not Ngannou. It's the big fights when it's on him. You know, you click to go. Obviously, the Deontay Wilder fight, that first one where he had no right to get in that ring, really, Fury. Because I do love Fury. I know he gets a lot of hate. I am in the Fury camp. I think his story's incredible. You know, I mean, I did a show called Soccer AM with him, Soccer PM they called it. It was a late night version, and he was sitting there and he was talking about making his comeback. And I sat next to the man, and his man fat was so much. When I put my hand down on the settee, I put my hand on his fat, right? I thought, there's no way in the world this man's going to get it together to get back in the ring. And I think he had a Tony Bell who come on and they was having a bit of an argument. I thought, I can't see it. But he done it. You know, he done it. He got his nut down. He trained. He done loads of weight. He lost, I don't know how much he lost, maybe 14 stone or something, wasn't it, at one point?
Yeah, yeah.
And he got in the ring with Wilder, you know, supposedly the most dangerous man on the planet. And he had it with him. And not only that, he took his dig. No one's ever took a Wilder dig before like that. And he got up and he had it for him for the last couple of rounds. It was that last round where he just come alive. He loved it. He's a fighting man. He's a traveller. He's got it in him, you know. So when it comes on top, I fancy him for this, mate. I think, and also everything he's done, everything he's created, his whole legacy. If he loses to Usyk, it's all gone. It's all gone. No one cares about what he's done up to this point. If he loses to Usyk,
physically, he looks in great shape, and a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. And what we've seen from Fury as he's arrived in Riyadh is he's socialising with everyone. He's giving interviews. He's in a happy headspace, and I think that's important for him, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think he's giving Usyk the respect that he deserves. I know he's not, you know what I mean? He's now going, oh, this is the hardest fight I've ever had. He's not giving it the cruiserweight one anymore. He's actually accepting that, you know, this geezer he's going to fight is by far his hardest challenge. And of course, what's at stake, the undisputed and all that, he knows he's got to be on it. And he knows he's not going to take his eye off the ball. He's going to, I think this is going to be, it's going to go points, is what I think. But I think it's going to be two incredible boxers just trying to outbox each other. That's what I think. I don't think there's going to be no swinging haymakers trying to knock each other out. I just can't see it. I just think it's just going to be back and forth, putting pressure on each other, dancing around, trying to figure each other out. I don't think there's going to be a familiar pattern with this fight, Spence, you know?
Yeah, do you think it's going to be a little bit of a chess match then, Dan? But do you think it explode at some point? You think that at some point, if this fight's close and we get into the penultimate rounds, 9, 10, 11, 12, one of them may just roll the dice and go for it?
Yeah, but I think if we do get to 9, 10, 11, 12, you know at that point we've had an amazing fight. So I think that's when they might both try and put their foot on the pedal, because I don't think Usyk's a fan of Fury, is he? I think... especially from what I've seen with this build-up, with, you know, John nutting someone and all that, you know, it's all got a little bit, I don't know, a bit...
What did you make of that nut, by the way?
Well, it was an odd one, because it's a weird video. It's interesting that John Fury nuts the smallest geezer in the group, and that was a bit mad. And also
I'm glad I went out there, mate.
Come out worse than all, didn't he, John? I think he opened his own nut up, so... But I don't think Tyson needs all that. I understand it's his dad and he loves his boy, and he's, you know, in the heat of the moment, they're sort of, you know, there's a lot of support for Usyk out there, from what I can tell. And, you know, they're supporting their man. But, you know, I don't know. It was such a, you know, I think whenever you nut someone, not that I've nutted many people, Spence, I think it's a very much spur of the moment sort of, you're squaring up to someone, you don't know how it's going to go, and then you just stick the nut on them, you know? So it weren't like you gave it a full nut either. It was just more of a, I suppose he's such a unit, John. He's trying to push him away, but it's not good behaviour, mate. And I don't think it's good for Tyson, you know? I don't think he needs all that heat around him. But I think he obviously loves his dad and he appreciates his dad's just, you know, trying to protect his boy or stick up for him, or I suppose it's that family traveller mentality, you know what I mean? That, you know, they feel threatened in any way, they're going to hold their hands up. You know, they never run away from the fight, these people.
I tell you what, if you weren't pumped up enough for this fight, listening to Danny Dyer just takes it to a new level, doesn't it, mate? You must have come off that conversation ready to rock and roll. Let's put the Rocky theme tune on and let's go for it.
Mate, I was buzzing when I come off that. I was surprised, actually. I've known Danny a long time, but I was surprised how much he's kept up with boxing. You know, he's invested in boxing big time. He knows his stuff, to be fair, and he's been watching the whole build-up to this. He's like, you know, he's been properly looking forward to it, the Undisputed. You know, he's been waiting for this moment as much as we all have. But yeah, no, he was great.
We had him on ringside a few years ago.
What a character.
A real character. And as Spencer says, knows his boxing. It's great to hear people who really, really do love it and appreciate it. And he knows it's probably going to be, despite the nut on and all that.
Stick the old nut on him.
But he actually was breaking it down very well. The chess match and the styles.
What I love about the big fights, it does bring out famous fans. People from that you wouldn't even think about being connected to big fights or having the knowledge of the sweet science. They come from everywhere. Who's the most random celeb that's rocked up at one of your fights?
Well, I had Marcus Rashford in my change room in Dubai when you was there.
There you
so
go.
I had a decent name drop.
That's a good name drop.
You know what I mean? Decent. And probably quite a few that had a few when I was out there. Like obviously Roy Jones was there watching. I spoke to him the next day, and that was a bit surreal. Yeah, I don't know.
There's something about a big heavyweight.
Usually my fights are half empty, Adam. So.
You do yourself a disservice.
Yeah, absolutely. Footballers love it. You know, Wayne Rooney, Steven Gerrard, we've seen out there tonight.
Yeah. Well, I've got a list. Check this out. I've got a list here, gentlemen.
I tell you who are really big boxing fans. So Declan Rice is, Joe Cole is, Marcus Bent. We know loads and loads. And
Mason Mount.
Yeah, fantastic. Mason Mount. Also cricket, Stuart Broad. Rory McIlroy, massive boxing fan. Andy Murray, massive boxing fan. Luke Humphreys, Kyron Wilson, who just won the World Championship in snooker. Across the board, the sports champions love boxing.
Check this out, right? In attendance tonight, we've already seen Stevie G, as you just pointed out there, Adam. He's already in the crowd. Cristiano Ronaldo, sat next to Anthony Joshua, sat next to Turki Al-Sheikh, who's obviously put this fight on this evening. Amir Khan's there, Vladimir Klitschko's there, Derek Chisora, David Hare. All from the world of boxing, of course. Neymar's in the house. They're all in attendance, wanting to get a piece of...
Larry Holmes, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis. Come on. I think Barrera's out there as well. It's brilliant.
It's the undisputed heavyweight title, man. It attracts everyone. It is the biggest thing in sport. There's no getting away from that. You know?
I think we're the only four not out there, to be honest.
Yeah.
Listen, didn't get a call.
We're all right. We're getting people connected to it. We're getting people as close as we possibly can. I'm going to address the poll that we've put up on our social media in a minute regarding greatest of all time and where the victory for whoever comes out on top tonight will place them in that greatest of all time chat. I'm sure we've got some thoughts on it. We'll get stuck into it in a minute. But first of all, let's go live to our talkSPORT reporter, Ollie Klink. He's in the Redwood, enjoying himself. And I believe he's got somebody alongside him that Spencer might know. Ollie, over to you, mate.
Catman, you are not going to believe who I have found in the Redwood pub. I have found TV royalty in the Redwood pub. This man has been in Big Brother. He's been on Married at First Sight. He's also a boxer himself. Ben Jardine, welcome to the watch along. How are you, sir? You well?
Doing we all right? How's it all going? You all right?
Yeah, all good. Right, what do you think is going to happen tonight in the big fight?
Buzzing. I am buzzing tonight. I'm buzzing. Right. I'm going to just let it out, set it out. Tyson Fury, you need to get on this man as fast as you can. Push him down, put your weight on the boy, let him know who heavyweight is. Because Alexander Usyk, mate, if this goes to the end, he will beat you on points.
That's your prediction, Usyk on points. That's what you think.
I want Fury, yeah, but I think Usyk is going to beat him on points. If he does not knock him out, and he's got to hit him hard, he's got to lean on him, he's got to put all that 6'9" frame all over his body. You know what I mean? He's got to do that.
And you know our very own Spencer Oliver, don't you? You've got a little message for Spence?
Spence, I love you, kid. You know what I mean? We got to do what we got to do, because you know why? Because Tommy Fury, I'm coming for you. Anthony Taylor, get out my DMs. I've had less fights than you. Pick up the phone. Do you know why? Because I'm high risk, low reward. You know what I mean? And when this man, you feel these bums, yeah? We're going to know what time it is, isn't we? We're going to know what time it is.
I love this. We've got breaking news on the watch-along. Ben Jardine's just called out Tommy Fury. This is absolutely sensational. But, mate, the thing we've been getting people to do all night. Tyson Fury's winning song, you know what it is. Give us your best rendition of American Pie. Ben Jardine, take it away.
Spencer Oliver, this is for you. Tommy Fury, Tyson Fury, this is for you. Bam, bam, Miss American Pie. Take a Chevy to the levee, one dry. Good old whiskey, drinking whiskey and wine. Do you know what? Because this will be the day. Fury, I don't want to say it, but we're going to do it. Peace out.
Unbelievable.
Pick up the phone, Fury. And Anthony Taylor, I'll see you in Vegas, baby boy.
Gents, it's kicking off in the Redwood.
I mean, he'll do nothing. He'll do nothing. Oh, by the way, well done to that Anthony Cacace from Belfast. You've done really well. And Cordina, amazing fight, boys. Respect.
Gents, get down here.
Sorry,
it's
yeah.
electric. It's absolutely electric.
Spence, we love you, kid. I'll see you in the gym. We got work to do.
Carnage, absolute carnage. Of all the things that I expected to see on the show this evening, that was absolutely not one of them. Cacace, just in case anybody was listening to that thinking, who's he referring to there? Anthony Cacace became world champion a little earlier on. We're going to be right back after the break with all the latest on the biggest fight of the last 25 years. This is talkSPORT's King of Kings. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to talkSPORT's King of Kings. Coverage of fight of what we class as a century. All night we've been building up to the undisputed world heavyweight bout between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Time now to get the latest odds with William Hill.
In the zone on talkSPORT with William Hill. Get epic value all season with William Hill. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Now to bring us right up to date is William Hill's Lee Phelps. Lee, what have you got for us, my man?
Yeah, well, this was a pick 'em. We've been talking about it being a pick 'em for a while. It was even money, each of two, which is so rare in boxing. It's changed, though. The money has been coming steadily for Tyson Fury. He's now 4-5 to win this fight tonight. Alexander Usyk out to 11-8. The draw 12-1. We know that Gareth A. Davis has been banging on about this controversial draw. It's normally not as short as 12-1. We've seen a lot of money for that. Interestingly enough, talking to the traders tonight, this is going to be the biggest fight revenue-wise for us since Fury Wilder 3. The previous highest was the fight between AJ and Ngannou, and it's just obliterated that in terms of revenue. So massive fight. The worst results are Fury stopping Usyk in rounds 5, 7, and 8, and eye-watering what we'll lose if Fury stops him in any of those 3 rounds.
Top man, Lee, thank you very much. That was a look at the latest odds, thanks to William Hill.
In the zone talkSPORT with William Hill. Get epic value all season with William Hill. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
You are listening to talkSPORT's King of Kings, or you're watching talkSPORT's King of Kings on the Boxing YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out because we're going to be giving you a full watch-along of the Undisputed Heavyweight title fight. I'm Adam Catterall, Spencer Oliver, Sonny Edwards and Adam Smith are with me, but they're all locked into something at the moment because we're in round number 11 of Jai Opetaia versus Maris Briedis. And up until this point, gentlemen, just as we went to break there, I put my feet up, I thought to myself, Jai Opetaia is on his way to becoming a two-time IBF world champion. Briedis is having none of it. He's having a little bit of a go in this round.
Repeat of the first fight, mate, where he's just sort of switched on and he's turning it on a little bit here, Briedis, and Opetaia's having to bite down in his gum shield a little bit. He's asking questions of Opetaia. He's got a bad bruise now over the left eye as well, and he's on the back foot, and Briedis is pushing forward, reminiscent of the first fight.
His body language just almost seemed to fall off a cliff, and he just completely started squaring up. It's like he didn't want to be involved. He's holding on now, and it seemed to be in the first 10, 15 seconds of this round, Briedis came out like a man possessed, which I'm sure Nissan and Kala, my two distant cousins, will be very happy for at ringside. People forget that, you know, me and Charlie related to them. But they'll be very happy because Briedis has looked the best he's looked all throughout the fight, and, you know, he's one fighter that never seems to go away, and now Jai Opetaia looks like, okay, he's moving a bit better now, but
still getting tagged, though,
too many clean shots landing.
This is real resilience and courage for a 39-year-old Briedis. He's giving it everything. I mean, the first half of the fight...
Well, the first 10 rounds, Adam, he's probably done, what, 2 or 3 rounds maximum?
Yeah, might have won a couple, 2 or 3, but Opetaia's certainly under pressure in this, the 11th, and the uppercuts, again there from Briedis.
You'd think, though, he just got to get... Sorry, all Opetaia's got to do is get to the final bell, and he's completely tranced the scorecards, but he's still trying to edge forward. Now it's getting a little bit closer.
That's who he is. That's what he is naturally, isn't he? He wants to have a scrap.
I think he just got tagged at the beginning of this round and he went on his bike. He was just trying to recover. We see a big bruise come up on the left side of his face. Briedis sensed that. You know, he's an experienced guy and he sensed that and he rolled the dice a little bit there. Opetaia now looks like he's got back control of it again. He's on the front foot again. He looks like he's back in control. But what a fight again from these two. Styles make fights and these two are really both leaving it all in the ring.
But this is the beauty of bringing the best guys against the best guys together, because you do end up getting ding-dongs like this. And you're okay, Briedis is 39 years of age, he's been out of the ring for 2 years, and it was looking like a very one-sided, unanimous points decision. But a champion like Briedis, who's, I think he's a 3-time cruiserweight champion, isn't he? Or a 4-time cruiserweight champion. Maybe tonight's the night where he becomes 4-time cruiserweight champion. That's what he's trying to do.
He won't, Adam. He won't.
I know, but there's something.
He should do.
But there's something special about that mentality that he's still throwing the kitchen sink at it in the 11th round.
Listen, Briedis pushed in the World Boxing Super Series in the semi-finals. He pushed Alexander Usyk to a split decision. That tells you where he's sort of at, the levels he's sort of at. You know, Usyk was boxing so well in that fight. Briedis just doesn't lose heart. He just keeps pushing. And in 12-round fights, once all that technicality goes out of it, it becomes a psychological battle. Maris Briedis, that's where he comes into his own.
Yeah. And when you've just been kind of getting tranced as well for the best part of 10 rounds, any slight shift in momentum or slight shift in pattern of body language, you spike straight through the roof, and it gives you all that confidence to step forward and keep throwing punches.
Richie Woodall's only got it a couple of rounds.
I'm not sure, because I think a couple of those rounds, I think a couple of those rounds, I'm not sure how, but then again, we was getting caught up in conversation, so I'm not. It may be a little bit closer than we're in the studio.
Listen, there's 3 minutes of this fight remaining. Briedis has just got to throw the kitchen sink at this, hasn't he, Adam?
Absolutely. I mean, as Sonny said, you know,
and he's having a go.
Absolutely read the riot act to him, and he's doing it. These right hands, big hooks, uppercuts. He looks like the man who, if it was 15 rounds, he'd be coming. Look at this.
Good shot.
Going big,
looking unsteady on his legs there. Look, he's going to go down. Thought he was going to fall down
there, Adam, mate. He's literally rolling the dice. He's throwing everything back again. And the kitchen sink. And Opetaia looks in a little bit of trouble here.
He looks fresh here, Briedis, somehow.
But it's a lot easier to reserve your energy when you're taking the punches than it is keep throwing them. So for 10 rounds, it's been kind of an onslaught at times. Some good planning when he's letting his shots go. But when Opetaia felt about letting his hands go, he's not thought about it twice. And now Briedis is just trying to make something happen, where Opetaia is probably hoping that 2 minutes is more 1 minute right now. Left on the clock.
Taking him out of his rhythm, totally.
up until this point, Apataya has been absolutely fantastic. Beautiful range control, lovely shot selection, roughed it up when he needed to rough it up. He's bossed the fight. But then all of a sudden...
That's what he can do. That's exactly what he's like. He's trying to get those feet moving again. 1:45 to go. Bradis digging in, planting his feet now and trying to get the power in because he knows he probably needs a definite knockdown or a knockout at this point. He's got to be behind on the cards.
But do you know, I think he's also struggling a bit, Jai, here. There's been a big talk, even though it was such a hard-fought fight last time, the 2 years, the age, how good Jai's looked and how sort of explosive he's looked since. I bet Jai was kind of hoping that this performance would be, you know, a streak different to what it was 2 years ago, because he would have wanted to see the progress, he would have wanted to see the maturity, maybe even the fading of a fighter. So he's probably still trying to get through that mindset and still trying to put his dominance, even at stages where he might not completely need to in the fight.
Do you know what? It is all about levels, though. And if you think about it, you know, you go like, you look at Jordan Thompson, and then you go Ellis Zorro, you go, they're not nearly at this sort of level. So you go, the last time we seen Jai Opetaia in a real fight
was 2 years ago.
Any sort of magnitude was 2 years ago against this guy. And you look at it again, and it's going exactly the same way. But what we do get from Jai Opetaia in this fight is the guy's got showing a lot of character, man. He's showing a lot of character.
Even Bradis, who's well, in our opinion, I mean, we might be drastically wrong here, but it feels like he's well behind it.
When
He's
he
just
looks
having
like
it.
This is much better from Opetaia.
I don't know why he doesn't, though.
But he stopped doing it.
Because it's when you fight with ego, when you're there trying to push your man back and show that you are the boss in the ring, sometimes you get caught up in a bit where now, the moment of energy is between the two of you, your other fight is fresher. And
10 seconds left here.
Bradis is...
But that's what the fans love, don't they, Sonny? We love it when your egos take over. Go on, just have it.
The fans do, but your corners often don't.
He's dancing as well. Opetaia knows he's done enough. But Bradis has put a real shift in those last 3-4 rounds.
That was a good fight.
He raises his hand. Big respect between the two. Obviously, 24 rounds shared.
Yeah.
Interesting how the judges have got it.
Yeah, great fight that. Bradis is just one of those old school throwback type fighters, and he reminds me very much of like a Cole Froch, where he just does not lose heart. He'll just keep pushing, keep kicking on, you know, like when Cole Froch, when he beat Jermaine Taylor and he won that fight, where he come from behind and won it with about 10 seconds to go in the last round, but never lost heart.
That's what I mean about the 15
that's what
rounds.
Bradis
If
is
that
like.
had gone 15 rounds, different story. Carl Froch should warm up 2-3 rounds. He would love to have had 15 rounds. Richie's got Opetaia one round up because of those last 3 of the last 4. He scored to Bradis.
Well, he's given a 10-10 there at round number 10, hasn't he? He's levelling it up and scoring it 115, 114 in favour of Jai Opetaia to regain the IBF crown. I've personally just, again...
It felt wider.
We're doing a show. It feels a little bit wider. We're going to get a little bit more of a take on it. But the punch stats and punches thrown, obviously the busier man looking at that screen there that's just been thrown up in front of me, Maris Bradis is the busier man, but the guy that's landed the more stuff has been Jai Opetaia, and that's what we're scoring at the end of the day, aren't we? The cleaner, more effective work felt like it was Jai Opetaia, especially in the middle rounds.
From what we saw, like the shots that were landing, the more effective shots were coming from Jai Opetaia, and I think that he was nicking a lot of those rounds. It was scored to him. I had the fight wide in that as well. Look, we weren't scoring it, but as we were watching it, talking along there, you just felt that there's only one winner in that fight, Jai Opetaia. I think he won it probably by 2 or 3 rounds.
Good performance, though. Good fight. Really enjoyed the large percentage of that fight from what I was watching of it. And it also comes back to the conversation we were having 2 moments ago about the British scene and where those guys are at. And we would love to see winners of certain fights getting in with the likes of Jai Opetaia. And if Maris Bradis wants to continue, I'm sure there's some knocks for him at the top table once again.
Adam, we'd absolutely love to see that, and we've loved these hors d'oeuvres on. 2 really good fights to get us ready for the big one, and that's what the Saudis are putting on, these incredible cards. We've got it in a couple of weeks with the 5v5. Shame about Batebiev and Bivol being delayed, but it's mouth-watering stuff. These fights are good enough to top bills anywhere, aren't they, Sam?
And when they are like that, especially that sort of dramatic ending, it makes it a bit softer being 25 minutes late past the schedule that we were supposed to be in the main event in the ring.
Man, what's the main event?
Right.
Listen,
they said
AJ and Garner, remember that night?
10? They said half 10. On Twitter, they said half 10.
Listen,
half 10, right?
25 minutes late. Listen,
Gary,
mate,
I know, that's what I
Sonny,
thought.
they're 25 years late, pal. We'll do 25 minutes, don't you worry.
What's another 25 minutes?
I just hope we get straight to the ring walks. I don't want no interviews. I just want to get straight to the action.
You don't want any anthems. Don't give me a full introduction buffer. Just go straight on in.
Bloody shirt from Howard Foster right in the middle. The man in the middle, the referee. Bradis, well, I think he knows, doesn't he?
I think he does know, but it's going to be interesting to see what the actual scoring of this fight is. Obviously, we don't have sound in the studio, so we couldn't give you the exact cards straight away, but we're going to be able to inform you which man gets his hand raised as both men are brought to the centre of the ring alongside the referee, Howard Foster. It feels like a Jai Opetaia victory. Cards are about to be read out, and we're going to find out which one of these is going to be taking on the IBF Cruiserweight Championship. Remember, they fought 2 years ago, and first time around it was a points decision victory. Man with a broken jaw, Jai Opetaia, came up victorious that night in front of his home crowd.
Yeah.
It's a unanimous decision victory, I'm being told, for Jai Opetaia. That's what it felt like in the studio.
Yeah.
He's the king of the division once again. Obviously, already Ring Magazine champion. Now he's the IBF champion once again. Bradis comes out with a lot of credit there. 2 years out. Obviously, he's 39 years of age. If he wants to continue, I don't know where his headspace will be at after this. If he wants to continue, I'm sure there'll be a few dances for him. But Jai Opetaia, absolutely the king of the cruiserweights right now.
Yeah, freshness, and you could see that the younger, fresher fighter just had the edge in that one. He started well. Bradis started slower, and he felt that Opetaia built up an early lead there. Bradis done what he does best. He bit down his gum shield, come back towards the end, and it was dramatic last couple of rounds. Great fight. Stylistically these two go together so well. But if you ask me, where does Marius Bradis go? Where does he fit in with this cruiserweight division right now? There's great fights out there for him. We talked about Richard Riakporhe and Chris William-Smith fighting on the 15th. You go, imagine the winner of that going in with Marius Bradis.
That's a great fight.
That guy gives anybody in this division a fight right now.
Well, that's a real test, isn't it? Riakporhe against William-Smith, and then you go in with someone like a Bradis.
No one's fighting him. No one's fighting him without a world title on the line out of them lot right now.
Totally
I would confidently say that and wouldn't feel any way because there's no way they're going to fight Bradis, who after how Jai Opetaia has looked and probably is as good as really, that even now at that stage, 2 years out the ring, making videos calling out Jake Paul, but he still got it like that to the point of the last 2 rounds. I didn't hear the scorecards. We might be able to hear him now. I don't know how wide it really was. But I don't think, without a world title aligned, so unless some get vacant, I can't see any one of those British boys with some...
Through 14 more
something to protect. They're not going to fight him. They're not going to fight him.
That tells you what it is, that Marius Bradis has now become the chairman of the Who Needs Him, Who Wants Him club in that cruiserweight division.
You want him? You want to still see him?
What I'm saying is that the fighters themselves, they won't go near him unless they have to fight him.
We want him.
He's dangerous. Oh, absolutely. Listen, we'll take him.
Definitely.
I'll make cruiserweight. Give me a couple of weeks.
Opetaia's done 24 rounds with him. He'll see the back of him now.
Move him on. I can tell you, gentlemen, that the scorecards there that have just come in, we had a 117, 111 on one card, and then we had 116, 112, 116, 112. So we had 8 rounds to 4 with a 9-3, 8-4. It felt in and around that, didn't it? Fantastic late surge once again from Marius Bradis.
So you're basically saying us 4 in here, no boxing.
Well done.
Better than whoever's over there.
Well done. Nailed it, mate. You nailed it. Listen, it's an action-packed show. The co-main event has served up an absolute cracker between Marius Bradis and Jai Opetaia. Jai Opetaia, the IBF champion, once again. Now, though, something very special. Earlier this week, Spencer caught up with Hollywood actor and big boxing fan Ray Winston to look ahead to tonight's massive undisputed heavyweight bout.
We've got to talk about the big fight, the undisputed fight, a one that we've been waiting for now. The last one was 25 years ago with Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis. Fast forward 25 years, we get the undisputed heavyweight title fight again with Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. I can't wait. What about you?
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm out in Sicily, so but I've got it. I've got the fight all sorted out, so I can watch it. I can only see one winner, to be honest with you, Spence.
Go on, Ray.
Fury. I've been having a look at him, little clips of him and the way I don't know what it's like over there, but over here he's been very quiet. There's the hype shows and all that where they do the little films and all that bits, and there's a bit of bad speaking about one another, but we know that's not the case. I think Fury will respect him, and I think he knows what a great fighter Usyk is, which he is. He's a dangerous man. But he looks a throwback to me, Fury. And I know other people have said this, but he's not muscle bound. He looks loose, and his command of the ring and his boxing skill, I think, and the size of him. I think size will play a big part in this. You haven't seen a man that big move the way he does in a long, long time, you know. So for me, I can see Fury either points or a late knockout.
You go off the last performances, Ray. He didn't look great again in his last performance against Francis Ngannou, did he? What did you make of that performance?
I think different fighters. I think he knows he's up against a world champion now, and quite rightly so. Usyk is one hell of a fighter. Don't worry about that. And I think his mindset will be right, and I think he'll be ready. You know, he's an intelligent kid, Fury. He knows what he's up against, and he knows he's got to be in prime condition for this boy. You know, and I think he will be.
Listen, he's up against another intelligent fighter in Alexander Usyk. I mean, how good do you think Usyk is?
Yeah, he's great. It kind of reminds me of a bit of like a cruiserweight. He's skillful. He's got everything he wants. But I think this is the type of fight where size will matter. You know, I think the weight will matter. And I think for me, Fury's got the skill to back that up. And when he boxes, when he puts his mind to his boxing skills, there's not a lot of people who can get near him, is there? No. You know, I think I mean, he's got the talent to get in there, but I can't see Tyson Fury letting him through. You know.
Yeah, that's the difficulty, I think, for Alexander Usyk. If he can close that gap, if he can get inside, it's all a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes, isn't it? That's what makes this fight so interesting. Look, Ray, where did your love from boxing come from?
I guess it was just the thing to do in the East End, wasn't it? You know, you went to the kids I knew, we all went to boxing clubs. You know, you know, great old fighters. You know, I brought up watching old films of Marciano and Archie Moore, Sugar Ray Robinson, and fighters like that. You know, for me that was our sport. You know, kind of football took a second place to it. You know, in a way.
The great Ray Winston there, catching up with Spencer Oliver. What do you make of his predictions?
Yeah, listen, I think that he's pretty spot on, isn't he? We're talking about Tyson Fury and using his height and reach attributes and actually the mobility of Tyson Fury as well. He feels quite confident that Fury's going to win the fight and win it quite comfortably, if I'm honest. Yeah, you can't argue with that. I go with Fury. I think that you've got to, you know, I think that Fury starts a slight favourite, but there's so many ways you can see Alexander Usyk obviously winning this fight. And that's not sitting on the fence. That's not getting splinters, mate. That is like that is the way that the fight could go. It's all about, in that first round, when Tyson Fury starts off, he takes that centre of the ring. If his timing's out straight away and starts falling short with that jab, he's in big trouble. You know, I think he needs to nail it early because Usyk's a great guy looking around. He'll spend a couple of rounds just sizing his opponent up and seeing where he goes, trying to set traps, and then he gets into a little rhythm and he starts pushing on as the rounds go on. So, yeah, Tyson Fury has to be dominant early in this one.
Well, it's over. 25 years of waiting. Done, my friend. It's time to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be going anywhere. Make sure you tune in to the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. The watch along is coming next. We're going to be right back with Usyk versus Fury. This is talkSPORT's King of Kings. Don't go anywhere. In recent years, boxing has missed the opportunity to deliver the undisputed title. Loads of talk with very little action has seen fans turn away disillusioned. Tonight is the turning point. Saudi Arabian money has satisfied egos and financial demand to bring the ultimate moment. It's the heavyweight championship of the world. But who will become undisputed? Fury or Usyk? Who is the king of kings? This is the watch along on talkSPORT.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated, reigning and defending WBC and lineal heavyweight champion of the world, introducing the Gypsy King, Tyson
Fury, followed by the left hand and another right. Down goes the shoulder, and the referee has waved the fight over.
Yous are all dossers. He's getting knocked out, and you two are going to be working for me carrying me bag slinks. Remember I said it on this stage?
Let the fight go on.
Let's get the press conference going, Sophie. Make your man talk.
Let the belts come back home to Ukraine.
From Ukraine, Alexander Usyk.
He's unbelievable. I can't emphasise how good he is.
I don't think Fury's boxed anybody like him. A good Alexander Usyk probably holds his own with just about any heavyweight that's ever lived.
If he can't find explosives, he will not beat Tyson Fury. I don't care what they say.
I'm the last undisputed heavyweight champion of the world right now. So in order for one of those guys to have my crown, they have to fight.
All night we've been building up to the undisputed heavyweight bout between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. The last time we had an undisputed world champion was in 1999 when Lennox Lewis defeated Evander Holyfield. We can hear from Lennox right now. He spoke to Spencer Oliver a little earlier on this week.
There's a lot of similarities between your fight and this fight, with Tyson Fury being the much bigger guy, Alexander Usyk moving up from cruiserweight like Evander Holyfield did. What does Alexander Usyk have to do to win this fight?
I think he knows what he needs to do. This man is a champion. I mean, he's undisputed at a lower weight class. Now he's moved up to the higher weight class, and he hasn't lost yet. So he's a winner. And I'm sure he's got a plan, out there, because he wouldn't step in the fight unless he had a plan. And we're just going to have to see how his plan plays out.
Yeah, look, it's like I say, you know these sort of weights and the difference between moving up from cruiserweight to heavyweight, because you experienced that with Evander Holyfield. Is it an easy transition for Alexander Usyk? I mean, I know we saw him beat Anthony Joshua last a couple of times, but and he won them fights, and he won them convincingly actually. But like against Tyson Fury, he's a much bigger guy, and he's going in there. He is the world champion as well. Does that make a difference?
Makes a big difference. I mean, Tyson Fury is no easy fight for anybody. He's elusive. He moves well. He boxes from both sides. For any boxer, it's gonna take a while to figure out. Also the height difference is a problem. 6'9". It's not an easy, it's not an easy fight for anybody. So, and then he's not gonna get the fat Tyson Fury. He's gonna get the focus, guy that don't have a belly, don't have love handles. He's ready, focused, and willing.
Okay, Lennox, I'm gonna put you on the spot, mate. I want to ask you, who do you think comes out victorious May the 18th out in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and how do they win it?
I believe that Tyson Fury has great attributes. He's tall. He can box on both feet. Southpaw, orthodox. He can go forward. Right now, to me, it's difficult to beat a bigger guy. So I always say the bigger guy has the advantage.
So you're going to go for what you think, Tyson Fury on points?
Yeah, I think Tyson Fury on points, but I'm not counting out Usyk.
The last man to hear undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis. You catching up with him a little later on this week, making the prediction that the new guy that we're going to crown this evening will be Tyson Fury. Can you believe it's been 25 years?
It's incredible, isn't it? Like, he's now just ready to pass over the baton. 1999. It's insane that we've actually waited that long to get another undisputed heavyweight champion, and it is happening, and it's happening tonight. And I just can't wait for this fight because of how difficult it is to call with Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. It's just one of those fights, and we're all going to have an opinion, and we're all going to, say the ways that it could go, and it could go totally different to the way that anyone thought. It is one of those fights that is so hard to call.
Adam, you were there in 1999, so let's cast our minds back to the actual similarities between what we're seeing this evening, even down to people that are in certain corners on that night, cruiserweight fighting, heavyweight, all that type of thing. There's so many similarities between what we saw 25 years ago.
Absolutely, and two wonderful fighters then and now. And as Spencer said, it's just taken so long to actually happen. I remember when Vladimir Klitschko fought Sultan Ibragimov as well in the Garden. That was a unification, but this is for the undisputed belt. So remember, it was the WBC, WBN, IBF only back then in 1999. Now the WBO, which is very highly regarded. You've got the Ring magazine, of course, the lineal champion that Tyson Fury believes he is since the win over Klitschko. You've got another couple of belts I think they've chucked in as well over in Saudi. There's huge amounts of treasure, but they were great days back then as well. As I said, that quartet of Lewis, Bowe, Holyfield and Tyson. And Lennox never fought Bowe, but he obviously got the win over Tyson eventually. They sparred in the early days in the Catskills. That happened too late, that fight. But Lewis Holyfield, when it happened in the Garden, it was wonderful in New York that week. It was absolutely fantastic. All the stars came out. It was a brilliant night. It was just marred by the controversial sort of scoring and the way it ended, and everyone's saying it was a robbery, the worst decision they've seen. I think Steve Farr had said in 25 years, the worst one he'd seen, and it left a bitter taste in the mouth. But that's boxing. Sometimes it kicks itself in the foot, and then we waited a few months later and had the rematch in Vegas when Lennox Lewis finally did, and for me, Lennox Lewis is our greatest heavyweight. I think he's proved it time and time again. The two defeats, both he exacted revenge on Oliver McCall and Hasim Rahman, and he knew when he was in trouble against Vitaly Klitschko that he'd seen better days. He got the timing of exit right as well, Lennox, and I believe he's still up there. Yeah,
absolutely. Listen, one thing that is different though from that fight to this fight, you've got two fighters going into this undefeated. Somebody's always got to go in this particular fight. That brings a different mentality as well when you're going into a fight undefeated, when you've not been beaten before.
Yeah, to a certain point, but I feel like the one thing that's definitely sure for two fighters that have never been beat before is they don't really know how to. They don't really... Okay, you obviously consider what can always happen, but I think it's whoever gets that initial success will kind of fall into their groove quicker, and two unbeaten fighters at the biggest stake, that can really sort of double down for long periods, because whoever really finds their rhythm and starts finding the target whilst the other is still trying to catch up, unbeaten, you're kind of used to being in control from the first bell to the last for the moment. Like the majority, any unbeaten fighter doesn't usually have to keep coming back from behind. It's usually like they've just controlled it, and for the most part, Fury has, and for the most part, Usyk has completely danced around every single opponent he's had before destroying them. So which fighter knows how to lose? I don't think either of them.
Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe. Evander Holyfield was Evander Holyfield was 28-0. Riddick Bowe was 34-0. Look what spectacle they put on. Look what they done. What they left in the ring. One of the greatest heavyweight fights of all time. Ever. Sonny's right in what he says. Listen, when a fighter doesn't have that losing mentality, he hasn't lost before, that pushes them on a little bit more. That's more difficult to break here.
I'll throw something in. We were talking backstage about the unbeaten records and how you do get a little bit of luck. Floyd Mayweather didn't really win that first fight against Jose Luis Castillo. Joe Calzaghe, bless him, my great friend, 46-0. But Robin Reed, question mark. Okay, I'm looking at this. Guys, do you think Tyson Fury, in his heart of hearts, believes he beat John McDermott first time around and he beat Francis Ngannou?
Yeah, because fighters are deluded, and it's the only thing that gets us. It's the only thing that gets us in the ring again. Our delusion. Oh, actually, no, I can see how I won that round. you didn't win that round. No, none of them shots were a bit close, and some of those were arm punches. We are deluded. It's the reason why we can come back from setbacks, and my last fight, I was laid face down on my face first, but it didn't, at all deter me from being excited to get back in the ring. It's our delusion of our ability, and in my head, what would have went different and could have went different and should have went different, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you're back in the same place of the confidence. We exist and only probably can make it into that ring over and over again because of our delusion, so of course he does.
Listen, I think that the Francis Ngannou fight, you can argue there, and Tyson Fury may have believed that he won that fight because it was, he pulled itself back a little bit. But you go, John McDermott won the first fight. As a fighter, I know when you go in there and you have a sparring session, you think, I got my arse kicked a little bit there. You do know when that happens. Like in that McDermott fight, what was it, a 12-round fight or whatever, it's a 10-round fight. What did he win? 2 of them? 3? It was quite clear who won that fight. So I think that, every fighter does get... The boxing gods were with him.
You need a bit of luck.
Happens. You
both
need a bit
are
of luck
unbeaten, both are superstars. You need that. And Alexander maybe got a little bit of luck against Daniel Dubois. The body shot, the guys are saying...
But is it luck? Is it luck, or does the chips always seem to come back to the house?
Maybe.
Is that the 0 on the roulette board?
Who's the house fighter here? Is Tyson a house fighter here?
I don't know. I see Gold Star Promotions on Riyadh season for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 fights.
Listen, we're going to get some predictions in a minute on this contest, but just imagine if we do get that from 1992, Bo Holyfield, the last time 2 men, undefeated, stepped into a heavyweight ring to contest the undisputed championship of the world.
Listen, one of them's got to push it, mate. Like I said,
Give it again.
It could be a cagey start, but with what's on the line, all the marbles on the line, and history, legacies, modern eras, all of that, you throw all that into the hat. At some point, they're going to roll the dice. They're going to have to go for it at some point. This fight will catch light.
Fraser Ali, Bo Holyfield 1, AJ Klitschko, Wilder Fury 3, epics. We want another one for all the marbles.
That's it, man. That's it. Of course, we want another one. We've got our predictions, and we're going to give you them very, very shortly. How will this fight go down? We've taken to the streets of London this week to ask you what you think.
Yes, people, Romario Webster here for talkSPORT, and I am on London Bridge, of course, ahead of the huge fight this weekend, Tyson Fury v Alexander Usyk, undisputed heavyweight title, and I want to know who you guys think is going to win. Let's go ask the people. I'm here with Shay. Shay, firstly, how are you, my friend?
All good, all good.
Alex, how are you, my friend?
Not too bad. Sun's out, you can't complain too much.
Bryce, how are you?
I'm doing well today.
I'm here with Emmanuel. Emmanuel, how are you, brother?
I'm okay, how are you?
I'm good, brother. Of course, you know Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, undisputed heavyweight title fight. Who are you backing, brother?
I think I'll go with the experience of Tyson. I think he's just been there, done it. He's got a long career. I just have a feeling that he's going to get the job done.
I'm here with Marcus, big Marcus. You're going to give me a big prediction. Tyson Fury, Usyk, who wins?
Tyson, definitely. Yeah.
And
his dad.
We'll get on to his dad, don't worry.
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury, why do you back Tyson?
I just love his consistent wins, the way he approaches the fights positively, his physique, and I'm just a natural fan of him.
That's actually very hard. I like Fury, I like how he boxes, but using his weight more technical. It's like a cat on the ring. He knows how to do his full work.
Tyson Fury knocks him out. Knocks him out?
Knocks him out. I don't like Usyk, I'm not going to lie.
You don't like Usyk? Why don't you like Usyk?
I don't know, I like Tyson Fury, innit? He's a good boxer, I like him, quite cocky. I like cocky people. I'm quite cocky myself, so I want Fury to win.
Fury inside 3 rounds. Inside 3 rounds?
3 rounds.
Why'd you go for that?
Size difference is too much. Body shots.
So you don't think Usyk's got the size to deal with Fury?
No chance.
One more time.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Psych it up. Make it worth the words.
So you think this is good?
I love it. It makes me look forward to watching his fights. I love it.
Okay.
A little violence is good.
I only saw the photos after, but I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, I just think he's a bit of a melt. I think it's too much.
I like him. He makes me laugh.
No, it's not for me.
I was all a bit mental. I feel like John Fury's a couple slices short of a sandwich. So I don't really know what he's doing there.
No, not my cup of tea, that. I think it's a bit... That weren't too sharp.
So that's it, people. It's been brilliant. I've spoken to everyone. It's 50-50 pretty much. Some Fury, some Usyk. Some people are even in favour of John Fury's headbutt. I don't know how it's going, but I reckon Fury on points, just if you had to push me, and that's it from me.
I love the fact that nobody actually asked Romario his opinion, but he gave it his anyway, man.
Yeah,
just chuck it in there.
Why not, mate?
That's the sign of a good fight. You've got to get stuck in. We're currently watching a few pictures that are coming to us from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, ahead of the undisputed clash between Fury and Usyk, which we're going to be bringing you very, very shortly here on talkSPORT, and you can watch along with this on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. I'm led to believe, now listen, I'm not up on my modern-day rap stars, but I'm led to believe that's Lil Baby.
No, I don't think it is.
Doing a bit. That's what I've been told in my ear, Sonny. That's what I've been told in my ear.
Is that what you've been told in your ear?
Know this?
No, it's JIDSV, apparently.
JID, I've no idea who that is. Do you know who
All
that
I'm
is?
saying is, Adam, you might get cancelled this evening.
I might do, mate. Listen, I'm 40-odd years of age, pal. This is not
me. You're talking a different language right now. I don't know what's going on.
But what is going on, he's in like a little platform that is above the ring. There's a lovely light show that is going up and down in and around the ring right now. Obviously, with no fighters in the on the horizon anytime soon. But this is all
entertainment.
It's all part of the popular ceremony.
Promos have been unbelievable, haven't they?
That's another thing regarding the promotion of these events that are taking place in Saudi Arabia. Some of the actual, like mini movies that have been thrown our way.
It's another level, mate. It really is. It's taking the game. Listen, we live in a world of entertainment, as I keep saying, and this is entertainment. That's what it's all about now. Boxing's changed so much. You've got bands playing there now. Like, it attracts everybody, not just boxing fans. It's now an event. It's a night out. Do you know what I mean? There was a time where, when the main fights used to be at York Hall, that was like your top of the bill sort of thing, and you got the geezer smoking in the corner, and it was all like one of those, and it's like your missus wouldn't go nowhere near any of them sort of venues. Now you get an Anthony Joshua fight, you get an Alexander Usyk fight, a Tyson Fury fight. All of a sudden you're getting a tap on the shoulder. It's your missus. She wants to go to the boxing. What happened to the York Hall? Do you know what I'm saying? It's now an event.
I'm glad they've stuck to one ring this time.
Yeah,
that was a bit of a
bit trippy.
Yeah. For what main event? Another arena.
For those that don't know,
for those
that don't know what you're referring to there, Sonny, they had two arenas, didn't they? And they had a lot of undercard taking place in one. And then they had the main event arena, of which then came out the floor at one particular point. It was all. Listen,
something's probably going to happen on the screen.
Yeah, I'm sure something is going to happen in a moment. They're going to be fighting
Tyson
in midair.
Fury said the ring walks like nothing has ever been.
Yeah,
and he is famous for some sensational ring walks. Let's be honest, Tyson Fury, since he's come back, he's absolutely.
I love the one at Wembley. At St George's Day.
Listen, all of them have been out. Even the Coming to America one when he came out to.
Thank God it's not 4 a.m. though. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
it's a touch.
Absolutely.
Happy with that?
Alhamdulillah, it's in Saudi.
We're only an hour late so far.
You're in training camp.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm back on the road tomorrow.
He looks great.
Night in London.
He looks great, mate.
For those that are just joining us, the concert is still going on, by the way. Like I say, I have no idea who the rapper is. Maybe he's on his third tune right now, but he's doing what he's doing in the cage, which is currently being just hovering above the ring.
Have we established who that is?
Well,
JID, it's definitely not Little Baby.
It's not Little Baby.
Okay. You might get cancelled.
Listen, mate.
You might get.
I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's get to the booze.
Let's
go to the pub. Let's go to the pub because the guys in the pub will be able to clarify.
By the time we get back, it'll probably be the ring walk.
Hopefully it will be, mate, because I want to watch some boxing.
We're going to get American
Let's
Pie
get stuck into it, shall we? Ollie Klink is in the Redwood pub right now. Ollie, can you do me a favour, mate? You're young and obviously you can actually be able to tell who that is. Who is that rapper that is currently in the ring, mate?
I've got absolutely no idea. I'll tell you what though, they should have booked Ben Jardine. How good was his American Pie? I mean, that's who they need to book for next time. Listen, boys, this place is packed to the rafters now. Everyone's enjoying the refreshments. And I said earlier, didn't I, that the punters were split in opinion on who they wanted to win tonight. And I've got an Usyk fan and a Fury fan to battle it out right here as well. I've got Haruki, I've got David. Boys, how are you? I'll come to you first, Haruki. Who are you backing tonight?
I'm backing Usyk. I think Fury will do it. I think he's got all the size, attributes. But if Usyk does it, what a performance. One of the greatest heavyweights ever, I think. Ever.
David, you're going for Fury?
Haruki said it, Tyson Fury. They don't make men like him no more. He's a fighting man. I think he's going to do it. Usyk not got a chance against him.
Yeah, but if he does so, I mean, can you believe it? Cruiserweight to heavyweight. undefeated.
Boys, we've been doing some shadow boxing tonight, right? So if there's a knockout tonight, how's it happening? Rookie, give me some shadow boxing right now. Go on. Yeah, go on. Give me some.
I think it will just basically be Fury with a stiff jab, but if it was Usyk, I think it would come under, hit him with the...
Oh, look at that movement.
That would be a bit more, southpaw and all that. I think it will get him, but I think it will be Usyk on points, if anything.
And David, you're under pressure here, mate, because we have had some unbelievable American pies tonight from the crowd. They've been absolutely amazing. Earlier, they almost got the whole Redwood singing. And now it's your turn, mate. So let's have it. Sing out American Pie, Fury style. Here we go.
I was singing my Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Usyk's getting beat by Tyson Fury tonight. Singing this will be the day.
Listen to that voice. Unbelievable. That husky voice. Incredible. Last question. Haruki, you're back in Usyk.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
To be fair,
How you feel?
I feel good. I feel good.
You are
I'm very feel.
Catman. He is feel.
I did hear that, Ollie, but I'm just being taken aback by the Alexander Usyk ring walk, which I know you can see on the screen behind you right now. It was perfectly timed. I am feel. Listen, you get back to the fight, my man. Check this out, right? As Alexander Usyk is just making his ring walk in Saudi Arabia right now, that get-up is absolutely sensational. We've seen him wear some Cossack gear in the past, obviously paying homage to his home people going through a lot of trauma at the moment with what's going on in the Ukraine. But that is some outfit to make your way to the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
It really is. And listen, this is the biggest night of his boxing career. And did you see the focus on his face, the fight face he's got there? This is where you can tell the ring walk, when the lights come on, bam, the spotlight, you go, right, this is where a fight can be won or lost. And you look at a fighter's face, you see if the nerves are kicking in. Remember Mike Tyson, when he boxed Frank Bruno, Frank Bruno boxed Mike Tyson, shall I say, out in America, and you looked at Bruno when he was doing that ring walk and you go, he's been done. He's been done. His eyeballs, he looked like a rabbit in the headlights. You see Alexander Usyk there, and he was totally focused. Look, with all the clobber on there, he looks absolutely brilliant.
The clobber. This is Ukrainian.
This is traditional clobber,
He's
mate.
been on the front line. This is a man,
unbelievable.
This is a man entering battle.
And you know
biggest night of his life.
How much focus that gives him, how much more he wants it.
As you're focusing on Usyk, it might just have slipped past you, gentlemen, because they're not on screen at the moment. But Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield are also both in the ring at the moment. They've had listen, there's too many belts in the world of boxing, isn't there? I think Sonny alluded to this a little earlier on, that there's a new belt, this undisputed belt that Turki Al-Sheikh has had commissioned. Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis are in the ring as well. The last two guys to contest the undisputed heavyweight championship, both there in attendance this evening, in the ring. Alongside, well, they were a moment or two ago, alongside Michael Buffer as he's welcoming the fighters to the ring. But Usyk, with team,
this is so exciting.
Fully kitted up in his traditional uniform there. Now awaiting the welcoming of Tyson Fury. Now, Tyson Fury, throughout the whole course of the week, has said, listen, expect something spectacular. I am going to give you the ring walk of all ring walks. He's given us some belters in the past. I've been very, very lucky to be at some of his fights where he's come in as Apollo Creed, giving it the old Rocky Balboa. He went for a mariachi band as well once upon a time with a full sombrero on, which was all good. We've had the Patsy Cline, very relaxed, coming in on a throne. He's done a lot, and as Adam alluded to a moment or two ago, the St George's Day, running to the ring, to the Kings of Leon and all that. What's he going to do tonight? He's got to come in on a magic carpet or something, hasn't he? He's got to go full Naz. He's got to go full Naz on us.
I mean, your guess is as good as ours, but one thing I can guarantee is going to be spectacular. I'm not sure he's going to be coming in on his own 2 feet. Like you say, I think he will be carried in some form.
Need about 6 of them to carry him, though, wouldn't they?
Yeah, well, he's a big lump.
What do you think to the new belt, though? Honestly, design-wise, just aesthetic. I like the concept. 4 into 1, perfect.
It looks plastic to me, mate. It looks a bit of a shoddy.
It looks really heavy, though. But
here we go.
Hold on.
Looks like it's a normal ring walk.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to run to the ring. That's what they're going to do.
There's quite a few of them there. Team Fury. They're just posing at the top of the ramp. Obviously, they're dancing to whatever song's being played on at the moment. He's singing.
John's had to be escorted the long way round the ring.
But there's no elevation, is there?
He's saying goodbye to them. So the team that walked to the top of the ramp with him might just be making their way somewhere else.
Where's he going?
They're doing a dance routine, I'm telling you. They're doing a synchronised dance routine, all 15 of them.
The song that he's playing, we can't hear this at the moment, but I'm being told by our production team that Barry White, my first, my last, my everything. He's having a little bit of a sing and a little bit of a dance to a disco classic, let's just say.
Look, what does Sugar Hill make of all this?
Well,
here we go.
I think he's in.
Here we go. They're getting in position.
Looks like there's an entourage. Have they got mics? Are they holding microphones?
Please tell me they're not going to go a full boy band here.
They are holding microphones.
Well, we've got the pyrotechnics are going off at the moment in Saudi Arabia as Tyson Fury stands at the top of the ring walk. Alexander Usyk's already in the ring.
That's £400 a shot.
He's just doing a couple of star jumps. Now, is he going to make his way? Baseball cap on backwards.
He's going to moonwalk.
There's Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
Right behind him.
The full team are in tracksuits. Tyson Fury's in what you would class as normal Tyson Fury fight gear, but he's just having a bit of a dance. He's having a little...
Has anyone seen John yet?
Well...
Yeah, he went to the ring. He came straight to the ring.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
We're now on...
oh, he's on the side,
He's doing that dance on the end.
Legs look light, don't they? Light.
Yeah.
I believe that it's now changed to Bonnie Tyler. He does like a mashup.
Here we go.
Yeah, so we've changed to Bonnie Tyler now.
I'm telling you, it's a dance routine.
Holding out for a hero. Here we go. Now he's started the run. The cap's come off, hands in the air, and he's now running to the ring, like he did at Wembley. Very similar to the run that he did at Wembley to go on. Not at Wembley, at Tottenham Hotspur, I think it was actually when he ran to the ring against Derek Chisora.
Chisora, free.
So no magic carpet, straight over the top rope, leaks that, no problem whatsoever.
Well, both of them.
A little bit underwhelmed, Adam. You kind of oversold it.
Yeah, I did oversell it, mate.
You did. You had me expecting.
Well, I think, to be fair, I don't think that was Adam. I think that
he's just gone straight into the Usyk corner.
I like Usyk.
Look at Usyk. Look at him.
He's just gone straight into the Usyk corner to try and get in Usyk's face as Tyson Fury, and Usyk is having none of it. He's just
look at him. Look at his smile. You can see the smile. You can see the crack of a smile that you don't want to give Fury. You can see the crack in it. Usyk's
laser
focused.
focused. Michael Buffer. We heard Jimmy Lennon, wasn't it? Who called Lennox Lewis as the undisputed heavyweight champion. Michael Buffer tonight, the legend that's Michael Buffer.
You know you've made it
when Buffer's doing the shout.
When he does
How many times has he done the shout for you?
My maiden world title defence, so stamp.
We're about to hear. Well, we're not about to hear it. It's being played out in the arena that is in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The Ukrainian national anthem currently ringing out. In the auditorium there, being obviously addressed by Team Usyk, who are singing in full blast. And what a night for Ukrainian sport. Obviously, last week, a sensational night for him as Vasyl Lomachenko regained one of the lightweight crowns, a wonderful performance from him. And tonight,
and they're best mates and two unbelievable fighters, one light and one heavier. Alex Krasik in the ring, you've got Klimis as well, that the whole team, they seem in very, very confident mood and steely as well, Spencer. Steely.
Absolutely. Listen, this is an emotional time for the Ukraine and he stands for his people. We know what he's all about. He left boxing, went to fight on the front line, Alexander Usyk. So he's a very, very passionate, patriotic man. You know, and you can see what this means to him. That will give him that extra edge in this one. This is going to be... I mean, guys, let's do it right now. Where are you at right now? Who are you thinking right now? Because I've been swaying, is it Fury, is it Usyk? Right now, I'm just looking at it going, I've got a feeling that Alexander Usyk may just get into the rhythm and nick this one. It's one of those fights where you go, you're just looking at the pair of them, and Usyk looks... so focused.
I'm loving the contrasting personalities of the flamboyant Fury who runs to the ring and all the music, and then the ice cold Alexander Usyk. It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know the way obviously Fury is always kind of like this, but I feel like it's his way of, I don't want to say coping, because I know he likes being there.
This is what he does.
I watched his Netflix documentary, so I think we got a good insight from that.
Of who he is. British national anthem on at the moment, by the way.
Yeah, I would like this in the studio. We could all stand up and join in.
Give it the full whack, yeah.
Absolutely.
But then again, I'll be real.
But you're right in what you're saying. I think the way that he behaves is just
Paris.
That's his comfort. That's what he likes to do.
Yeah, but I think it just helps him smother his insecurities of whatever will be going through his head at a negative time, which I don't think is very often, because I do think without this moment here, Tyson Fury doesn't know his place in the world. That's what I see from seeing his fight. I think when boxing is not there and he's not the centre of it, he don't know where else to be. He doesn't know where to put himself. And I think moments like these are genuinely look, he has got a smile on his face, but I think he genuinely does get excited. Don't get me wrong. In that excitement, there is nerves, there's anticipation, there's, am I going to win? Am I going to be the champ? Am I as good as I think I am? But like we said before earlier in the night, big-time fighters arrive at the big occasion, but the problem is I think we've got two massive night fighters in the ring at the moment.
Totally agree.
They're definitely big-time fighters, there's no doubt about that. Just a quick one on, we've run an online poll throughout the course of the evening, 24,000 votes so far, so thank you very much if you've participated in this. Just basically asking the question, who will win? 56% online right now are going with Fury, 44% are going with Alexander Usyk. I think that's a fair assessment. You would probably say that the slight favourite coming into this fight is Tyson Fury, but it's as close to a 50-50 as you could possibly put together.
That makes sense to me. Tyson is the slight favourite. You have to say that for the size and maybe also for the experience at heavyweight. Whereas Alexander Usyk, I think in the last few months, people have just sided slightly more with him. So Fury has the edge, doesn't he? Yeah. But Usyk has the rhythm. The first 6 minutes are critical.
Yeah, they are.
Where does the division go, though, if Usyk wins? I think heavyweight boxing kind of needs Fury to win, really. What's the next fight for Usyk? He's kind of done everything.
I understand that. Totally understand. Everyone wants to see the...
Everyone wants AJ wants Fury to win.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is,
if wins tonight, the era is complete.
He might as well retire. What else? He's gone undisputed.
Well, there's
twice.
a rematch in October.
There is a rematch.
Okay, but depending on this fight,
if it's a good one, I'll see a second one. Listen, before this fight gets underway, let's quickly get back to the Redwood. I believe that Ollie Klink is in there. What's the atmosphere like in there, Ollie? Come on, man. We've got the national anthems, mate. It must be pumping.
The national anthems were incredible in here. It has just been absolutely belted out by this pub, but underneath there were chants of Usyk, Usyk, Usyk. This pub is absolutely split on who they want to win, but everyone in here wants a banging fight, and I think that's what they're going to get as well. Can't wait for it, and we can't wait for it here in the Redwood.
Ollie, top man, thank you so much, buddy. Enjoy it, kick back. I'm definitely coming back to you at the end of the fight just to see what the reaction's like from the people in there. It is unbelievable that, I mean, listen, boxing fans are beautiful in the way that they sometimes don't get tribal with their picks. Of course you want to support your countrymen. Of course you want to, cheer for the person that comes from your country in a big title fight like this. But there's something about Alexander Usyk that resonates with everybody. As Adam was saying a moment or two ago, he's been on the front line, he's been fighting for his country, he's a wonderful role model. And when boxing does get a bit of a battering, and when people do give it a bit of stick, people like Alexander Usyk are the beacons of shining light, aren't they?
It's difficult not to like the guy. It's difficult not to want the guy to win. Do you know what I mean? Alexander Usyk is a man of the people. You know, what he stands for, what he represents. You can't not like the guy. That's what makes it so brilliant.
And when he beat AJ and the whole build-up and in between and the second, he had a very good way of just doing a sort of charming, little bit of maybe broken start of English, but then all of a sudden he was saying, I am Phil, and going viral on girls' phones.
He took control of the situation.
Someone that has no interest in boxing was watching a video on their Instagram or whatever social network of I am Phil.
Intelligent man in and out of the ring. And a family man. You know, he's and different this time as well. He's had his kids around him in Spain in the training camp, and he missed his daughter Maria's birth as well. There's a lot on the line here for Alexander Usyk. He's been hanging around for Tyson Fury, and you've seen that look is still there, Adam, on his face. It hasn't changed, has it?
No, it hasn't. Listen, they're both big family men, aren't they? They're both big believers.
7 kids
in a house. I think he's at 7 now at the moment. 7. Yeah, he's Tyson. I'm sure I've seen one of his sons in and around the camp throughout the course of the week this week. Listen, they've both got very similar outlooks on life when it comes to family and God and religion and all those types of things. Obviously, they're tremendous fighters with incredible ring IQ. I just cannot wait, as you were just saying 2 minutes ago, I cannot wait to see the first 6 minutes. How do they shape up? Does Fury come out orthodox? Does he come out southpaw? Is he tentative? Is he aggressive? What does he do?
Fury has a history of struggling against southpaws. That's what makes this interesting as well. It's the best southpaw he will have ever boxed.
And who's going to hold their nerve on the moment that, for both fighters, is really the sum of a lifetime of work all coming to a summit all at once.
Spencer Brown, Frank Warren getting behind him. This is the moment. Hairs on the back of your neck time, Adam. This is it. This is the moment. For 25 years we've been waiting for this.
They're about to strip down. What do you make of weights? Fury coming in lighter than he was last time out. Usyk there or thereabouts. It was misread at the weigh-in. They've read 233. It was 223 that he come in at.
So Fury was around 18.5 stone. You go, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Well, it's lighter than he's come in for some time. I personally think it's a bad thing for Tyson Fury, but it shows what hard work that he's put in there. So, you know, you look at that and you go, well, he may have just stripped down to that, and it might not have been he was training to lose the weight. It was more that he was training and he had that longevity through sustaining the cut. So I think that the weights favour Alexander Usyk as opposed to Tyson Fury, but we'll see.
We just saw Turkey Al Sheikh give it that, and this is it. The moment.
Here we go. Make sure you tune in to our talkSPORT boxing YouTube channel. Alexander Usyk says farewell to his cornerman. He turns his back, walks to the centre of the ring. Tyson Fury already waiting for him. Final instructions coming their way now from the referee. There's a little bit of chirping coming back from Tyson Fury, giving him the antics, giving him the eyes, giving him the look, and steely-faced, still, Alexander Usyk, all business, ready to get locked and loaded to the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. They touch gloves. They walk back to their corners. This fight's about to get underway. We've been building it throughout the whole course of the week. There's been many missed opportunities to make this fight in recent times. We haven't seen two heavyweights enter the ring to fight for everything in the division for 25 years. Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield are in attendance tonight. We are going to crown a new king.
Here we go.
And it is underway. Here we go.
First shot from Usyk there.
Interesting that Tyson Fury comes out in that orthodox position. Remember, it's his right eye that was cut in training. Is that a tactic to maybe protect that?
Good jab done.
Well,
nice heavy jab.
Trying to get the jab going, Fury.
That's what it was all about, establishing that jab early for Tyson Fury, taking the centre of the ring, because that's what he needs to do. He needs to be a dominant force in there, and he needs to establish that early.
Very light on his feet, isn't he, Fury? Body shot from Usyk.
As is Alexander Usyk. It is feint heaven. Right, now this must be your dream, Sonny, watching something like this. This is chess at its very, very highest level, isn't it? You feint, I feint, everybody feint. Let's see who's going to go first.
I don't think either of them are really trying to give up the first advantage. I think Usyk came out, touched the target a couple of times, but then Fury maintained his reach and just kind of committed to letting a jab, and hopefully it landed. It did twice, and now after the first minute, I think there's nothing really been telling landing and very bouncing. But both fighters, I think, are trying to stay at the edge of range. And right now, it's going to be a very patient and very a lot of body movement, not a lot of bodies punched.
Sonny Usyk's trying to get centre ring here. This is what he did against Joshua in the first fight. It's exactly what he did. But can he have the same success?
Well, I'm surprised he's actually taking the centre of the ring like that, to be fair, because it shows the confidence that he's got to stand there. I thought he was going to come out and move on the perimeter of the ring, but tactically, he's taking the fight to Tyson Fury, which is a surprise.
Fury looked poor when he was backed up by Ngannou.
The thing is, if you let Fury take the centre of the ring in this fight, he will throw it as you're coming to the centre. Right now, you have to get him sort of backing off and withdrawing, and then hopefully catching his feet, and then Usyk doubling up with the speed that he gets there. And because look at that range, that range there favours Tyson, sort of defensive, negating. What do you make of the size difference, boys? He looks gigantic compared to Alexander Usyk, doesn't he?
But Usyk's doing the right thing.
Usyk's working the body.
Tyson Fury just playing with the crowd there, giving him the old rope-a-dope. Waiting for him to come in, but Usyk was having none of it as he clips him with a little left hand over the top of his right glove.
Walk straight back to the centre of the ring, Sam.
Yes, he did.
I'm not playing your game.
Usyk's done well here with a backhand, southpaw stance.
Yeah, but look where he's put Tyson Fury. He's put Fury in that corner. Fury hasn't gone there. This is Alexander Usyk at his best, where he controls the space of the ring. Tony Bellew was talking about that, how he said that Usyk makes you work so hard moving. He's already pinning Tyson Fury on the ropes here, which is an impressive start from the Ukrainian.
This is where Fury wants him, I think.
Exactly.
Now, that right to the body,
The
first
head
body
fence.
shot from Fury. Nice shot from Usyk.
You see
It's a good start this from the Ukrainian.
Very good. Very good start.
Fury started thinking about his work, then he was going with a mouth feint, followed by a head feint, followed by a shot.
I'll tell you what, that left hand over the top's nice, though.
I think that's Usyk round the first one.
Acting from Fury.
It is. Listen, he's trying to get those double feints off. He's trying to take control of it, is Tyson Fury, but he is not being allowed to take control at the moment.
This pace, even if things are not happening, this pace of constantly having to re-engage your muscles to adjust or put your weight down, or that Fury's having to do as well, because both fighters are going with each other. And for the man that's 30 pounds lighter, it will, you'd think, be over the time. It would be much more efficient for someone 5, 7, 8% smaller in body mass to be carrying that weight over a 36-minute period.
That was a good shot. That separated the eyes there.
Backhand over the top.
He hurt him there with that left hand over the top. Look at it from a different angle. Fury felt that shot.
13-4 punches landed first round in favour of Usyk. Liked the way he worked the body. And also, I thought Fury, anxious, nervous. And that nervous energy could be a problem.
Yep, totally agree with that. Good round there from Alexander Usyk. Good start, confident start. Took the centre of the ring. He forced the pace, and he was the one that landed the cleaner shots.
Tell you what, the energy in the studio is red hot right now, and God knows what it's like.
Straight in again. Straight in Usyk again. Look at this.
Knocks him onto the rope.
Backing Tyson Fury up. Big, long right hand followed by a left.
He's showing frustration here, Fury. He's doing all that. When you see that, when he's clowning around and waving to the crowd, he is showing frustration here. Alexander Usyk has got into a rhythm. What we talked about before, boys, if Usyk gets into a rhythm, it's difficult to break.
It almost seems similar a bit to Ngannou. It's like the Fury that was coming out and imposing himself is back to a sort of passive and...
Sonny, we were all talking about Fury and the body shots that Usyk would have to take. Usyk is landing body shots on Fury.
It's a much bigger target.
Much bigger target. And he's finding them. His timing has been great. He's judging the distance well. This is a red-hot start from Usyk.
Fury can't read him.
No, he can't.
He can't read him at the moment.
Yeah,
and
he's struggling.
He needs to pop his jab out, though.
He's making Fury work hard here, boys. He's making him work really hard. He's forcing Fury around, pinning him in the corners again.
All he's doing is little jolts and then going when his energy's back up.
Sonny,
little jolt, then go.
Explain, when a boxer gets pinned into a corner, they call it the squared circle for a reason. You move around the perimeter of the ring on a circle. You don't go back in straight lines. When you get pinned in a corner, that generally means that you've been forced there. All we've seen Tyson Fury do so far is go from corner to corner. Dominance from Alexander Usyk early.
A good defence there from Usyk too.
Lovely head movement. Got out of the way of a long right hand from Tyson Fury. If you are listening to us on talkSPORT, I don't know where you are in the world, don't know where you are in the country. We are currently streaming live right now on our YouTube channel, talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. Go and get stuck into it. You can get stuck into our watch along. I'm Adam Cattrall, Spencer Oliver, Sonny Edwards and Adam Smith in the studio with me, watching along Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. And Alexander Usyk has started this fight at a frantic pace and is controlling this fight. Looking still for Tyson Fury to find some type of foothold and some type of rhythm, Spence.
Yeah, Fury's just struggling to find that rhythm. That's what we talked about. Who was going to establish the jab first? Who was going to take centre of the ring? Answer, Alexander Usyk. He's the one. He's got that flicky sort of style. Tyson Fury doesn't know what to do with him. For the first time in Fury's career, he's met someone with a bigger boxing IQ, a better boxing IQ than himself.
Better work there from Fury, but it is Usyk that is backing him up into these corners.
Back in that corner, boys.
And the body shots, time and time again from Usyk in these first two rounds. And we said, guys, the first 6 minutes crucial. Would Usyk get in a rhythm? He has.
He absolutely has.
He's finding the body, though. He's looking for the body, Tyson.
On two occasions, at least in this round, Tyson Fury has landed that right hand just to the rib cage of Alexander Usyk. It hasn't hurt him, it hasn't shaken him, it hasn't stopped him because he's still coming forward and doing his thing. But the person that's landing the combinations, the 1s, 2s and 3s, is absolutely Alexander Usyk at this stage of the fight.
dominating. Listen, Tyson Fury doesn't carry the power of Daniel Dubois. He doesn't carry the power of Anthony Joshua. They both went to that body. So what I'm saying is that Fury's going to have to find a clean shot to slow him up there. Another big round there, dominant round from Alexander Usyk.
Usyk first 2 minutes, but Fury came right back at him.
Yeah,
right back at him last minute.
The last 30 seconds in particular, you saw a kind of smile, maybe like a click in place.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
the rhythm's
Fury
there.
got a bit of confidence that, hold on, wait, and as now Usyk's put his input in, he's made
there.
it pay twice, 3 times.
He needs to meet him head on.
Yeah, but all he's got to do is wait for Usyk to come out of the, out of the trench, into no man's land.
This is what we were talking about.
Then punish him. But right now he's being too passive, and then he's letting him just get outworked or out-rhythmed more than.
But this is what we were talking about. This is what we're talking about regarding the IQs of both of these guys. These corners are brilliant, and I've no doubt that they're going to be giving him information and trying to help him out. But we're talking about two lads that can figure this out as they're going along, especially from a Fury point of view. Yeah, right now, he's probably 2 rounds down. But the back end of that second round, it was him figuring out, as Sonny was just saying, let's just wait a second. Now I'll go, rather than go, and he's making me pay.
So that's what I'm saying. Boxing is a chess match at this sort of level. Fury worked it out and said, listen, I need to turn it around.
Yeah.
I need that adaptability. He showed us that. Well, guess what happens then? Alexander Usyk does the same thing. That's the level that we're at right now.
Fantastic.
Good shot from Usyk there.
Very good shot. The fire's been lit a little bit here. They've warmed into this.
Started at some pace, this, hasn't it, boys?
Fury,
it's going to be interesting to
jab to the body from Usyk.
I tell you what the worry is for Tyson Fury right now is that he's carrying that right hand in front of his chin. Usyk lets that right hand go over the top and round the side. That's the danger shot. Fury needs to take that hand around the side. See where his hand's placed now? Right in front of the chin as opposed to round the side.
As he's going back, Fury always brings it in front.
Yeah.
He always that's his reaction.
Usyk.
Lovely long left hands, those, aren't they, Adam? And another one. And
How
another
many
one.
body shots has he landed in the first 7 minutes of action?
He's purely targeting that. Every now and again, he'll put one over the top and land on the whistle.
Yeah,
good shot.
Like
it's that hook over the top that you mentioned earlier,
That's the shot. That's the shot,
and he throws it so good because what Usyk will be doing is he'll be cutting slight different angles as he's coming in, so he won't be right in front of you. But if he manages to keep up your feet and go around the side, he's now got sort of a blind side with his hook, but it's coming on your open side where you're worrying about him on your left side. So I think
so good. That feet.
And all you've got to do is make the wrong step once, and he'll get in and land before you've even had a chance to react.
That Fury jab hasn't got going at all. It really hasn't. He can't get it going.
That and
he's stepping in with it. He feels like but even though Usyk's a lot shorter, because of how Usyk's controlling his chin and his chest and make sure he's not leaving it vulnerable.
Big left hand again there from Usyk.
Fury's doubting it. He seemed right in front of him. He let a right long jab go, and he just slightly glided because of what I said before the fight. Usyk's always got that sort of.
And where is he again right now?
Oscillation.
Back into another corner.
Look at him running.
Yeah.
He's almost running back to him.
He's backed into that corner again. Look, he's going from corner to corner. He's boxing in the square at the moment. They call it the squared circle for a reason. You have to stay in the circular motion.
And this is what we anticipated quite a lot from Tyson Fury. Try and hit and get hold of him, and try and use that big size and take a little bit of something out of it.
That's what he needs to do.
And punch here, get an arm free and try and sink something in.
The referee's going to be key here, how much he'll spit.
Absolutely. But listen, Tyson Fury has to change this up because
he looks nervous, though, Fury. He looks
really
nervous.
Anxious.
He looks tentative. He's not stepping over his shots. That's a bit better. Right hand from Fury. Needed that.
He threw 2 jabs, missed, and then went with a backhand.
One right hand there. That's a little bit better from Fury. Again, back end of the round, it's better, but he's lost the round again.
Yeah.
I think with a boxer, seemingly.
Whoa!
Good shots landed.
Good shots from Alexander Usyk.
Back comes Fury, complains back of the head.
Oh, but
wonderful shot from Usyk.
Do that, by the way.
Right hand from Fury.
Big right hand from Tyson Fury to finish the round.
But not enough, though. Not enough.
I tell you what, let's get to the Redwood. Let's find out what people are thinking down there. Ollie, mate, I bet you the atmosphere is absolutely off the chain.
Gents, this place is absolutely gripped with what's been going on so far. They absolutely love that rope and ope at the start from Tyson Fury. There are cheers and jeers going on in the crowd. But since then, there's been a huge recognition for just how good Alexander Usyk has been so far in this fight. He's completely controlling it. And the Usyk fans in here are absolutely loving it. The atmosphere is amazing. and the fight's brilliant too.
Top man Ollie, we'll keep checking in with you throughout the course of the fight. We're 3 rounds down for people that are tuning in to talkSPORT, and if you are listening or watching us, should I say, via the watch along on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, we can tell you that we're 3 rounds down, and the majority of us have got those scored in favour of Alexander Usyk. But there has been moments, there's been flashes, especially at the end of 2 and especially at the end of 3, where Tyson Fury looks like he's getting into some rhythm, looks like he's starting to get some type of timing, and he is landing a few of those right hands. Couple to the body in round 2.
Oh, straight
and
out.
in round number 3, he landed a couple of nice ones at the end of the round. But as round number 4 starts...
Body shot there from Fury was good.
Yes, but it was just in a response to 2 very good shots from Alexander Usyk. This is much better from Fury. He's starting to get those right hands off, isn't he?
That's the rhythm, though. He hasn't got to load up.
He needs to, boys. Like, he's obviously had a telling off in that corner because he's come out with more urgency. He's still clowning around a little bit, moving around, but Usyk, you know, defiant, just pushing forward, hands held high, and now he's trying to take control again.
And the pace of Usyk, but Fury having a little bit more success as he finds his distance here.
But when Fury just does reset his feet and then just sort of pop the shot, doesn't look for the perfect shot, doesn't hesitate, Usyk almost stops throwing back with him.
Yeah.
Usyk's almost waiting for him. All right, now you're going to stop. Now I'm going to go. Just then when he was letting 3s and 4s go, Fury, Usyk didn't even throw nothing back. Didn't even look to counter him.
Alexander Usyk. He's still dictating the pace of this dance. He's taking the centre of the ring. He's pushing Tyson Fury back, and Tyson Fury has fought the majority.
Good shot from Fury.
He did look like he clipped him there.
Starting to fancy this Fury.
Yeah, because his nose is a lot heavier.
Turning to southpaw.
Here we go. Body now.
There you go. He has gone southpaw. For the first time in the fight, Tyson Fury has gone southpaw.
Usyk's going
That's
for
it.
him.
That's what he's got to do.
Fury's
He's got to switch
having more
back on him.
success here.
There we go.
Better from Fury.
Much
Great
better
shots.
round from Tyson Fury. It looks like he's having a bit of fun now.
Just dabbing his left eye, Usyk. I want to say there's a slight swelling there.
He's got to get Usyk going forward, and then once he does, he can really surprise him with his body weight, and even if he doesn't land, he's got...
He's dabbing at his left eye, but something happened before that. I don't know if there's a cut or a damage or swelling.
The heads have come together. Both men touch gloves. They carry on, but both men were effective.
Good shot. Stiffed his legs.
So much better now from Tyson Fury.
This is a good round for Tyson Fury. We're in round number 4.
Hey,
he's been switching it up, fighting orthodox, fighting southpaw.
I think he's realising the size difference now.
The timing is there in this round.
Now you can feel the size difference almost, can't you?
Because he's hit him a couple of half shots and there's been little reactions, and I think that's where the confidence...
Yeah, the movement's much better from Fury now. He's started to get on his bike a little bit, and that's where he's getting success, when he's keeping it in range. As I say that...
I know his body shots don't look like they're hurting him, though.
No,
they look like ding, they look like they're bouncing off him like rubber bullets.
That was a big question. Could Usyk hurt him?
But look,
body shots are good. That's good work.
The headshots are better, though. I feel like the headshots are sharper from Usyk.
Body shot again there.
Good little 20 seconds from Usyk.
What a
it's been Tyson Fury's
fascinating
round, no
round.
doubt about that.
Yeah.
Nice right hand.
He needed it, Fury, didn't he?
He did.
Letting the round slip away from him. As this fight goes close, you know, these rounds will count. He needed this round big, Fury.
It's 3-1, isn't it?
I think so.
Yep.
Good jab.
There's been a...
he missed it. He's going for the uppercut. That's the shot.
The money shot.
Body or head, though. That shot. Throwing exactly the same time.
Yeah.
Body or head there, that's landing.
End of round 4, Alexander Usyk making his way back to the corner, but I think that might be just the first one that has gone against him through the first stages of this fight. Tyson Fury absolutely finding the target a lot more often in that fight. I did like the fact that he did switch up the stances. He gave Alexander Usyk a few other things to think about. And he was landing nice long lefts, nice long rights. It looked like he looks like he's got to grips with the timing of the fight, Spence.
He needed to. Listen, we know that Tyson Fury, that's what he's got to his game. That adaptability is so important. Both guys have got that, and it was like, who's going to figure who out? Who's going to land the better shots? Great start from Alexander Usyk. Tyson Fury, when he needed it, got the round in, because that would be a great confidence builder for him going into this 5th round. This fight is all still very much to play for. No one really stamped their authority in this fight as of yet.
It's great.
Alexander Usyk nicking the early rounds, Fury coming back in that 4th round, all to play for.
Absolutely. I'm led to believe there's 55,000 people watching us online at the moment, watching along with us. I've no doubt that they're consuming the pictures somewhere and using us as their commentary. So thank you very much. If you are joining us on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel right now, you can watch along. If you're listening to us on talkSPORT, listen, get your YouTube on quickly and head to the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, where we are watching along Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. We're in round number 5 on our scorecards. Unofficially, this is, of course, we've got Usyk 3-1 up through 4. Tyson Fury taking the 4th round and finding his rhythm, finally getting into the fight. But we're in round number 5 now.
But he's boxing this time now with his feet under him. I think that's the main difference right now for Fury. He's actually boxing on his terms. His feet are under him. He's not trying to fall in or step in or cut the distance down. Look.
Switching.
Much more comfortable.
And as soon as he's touched upstairs, at the target stage, he's whipping downstairs.
Well, that's why it's difficult for Alexander.
Oh, look for the uppercut.
What happened there, though? He got caught. Fury got caught.
Yeah, on the counter.
That was a big shot. I think he's hurt more than he's trying to make out. He, like, shook his head out then.
Yep.
It's like
on the counter, wasn't it?
It's like his eyes rolled. Look, he's looking away.
I tell you what, he's dabbing away here, Fury.
I think that hurt him. It was on top of... Look, he's trying to hold
his part a little bit. Starting to lose his shape there.
For people that watch it...
Good body shot.
Good body shot.
That was a good body shot.
Fury. I think he's
trying to hide behind the ref.
He's hurt Usyk for the first time. He's moving.
Both hurt.
Oh, and again. Big shot.
What a moans every time.
He's banging away.
Every time he moans.
He does. He's banging away to that body. He's Tyson Fury. But there was a moment where...
Oh, look, moan every time, man. Keep fighting.
Yeah.
Every time.
The referee's got to be absolutely bang on it here, because Tyson Fury's racking them into the body, and Alexander Usyk...
It's just Dubois all over again.
He's just making reference, isn't he? That
Fury's
they're on the
found the
belt
gap.
line or even just slightly
Oh,
below.
yeah.
And again
Good
from
shot.
Fury.
And there's more gap there, isn't there, Sonny?
Tyson's only going there. He's going there.
Yeah, but he's got to be careful when he goes down there, because Alexander Usyk will recognise that. And as Tyson lets that shot go, that right hand to the body, Usyk will come over with that left hand over the top.
That's what he's looking for, Spencer, that left hand over the top.
That's the shot that he's going to go for, because he recognises the Fury is switching it downstairs. There he goes, left hand.
Listen, this is a good round for Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
It's another good round for Fury.
He's been putting in some wonderful work to the body.
Oh, whipped in that body shot.
He's letting them body shots go.
Oh.
And Usyk comes back with his own, but Fury's body shot's much better.
And then you got a little bit
of the weight as well.
That was a
little bit of
body
tying him
shot.
up and trying to get hold of him.
Putting up
but this is much better from Tyson Fury. It looks like he's figured it out. The first puzzle, anyway.
Yeah, clever
Alexander
from Fury. Very clever.
Well,
his feet down,
he's using his attributes to his advantage, the height, the reach, the size. That's what he's doing now. That's why he's in control of this contest. It's now for Alexander Usyk to work out. Good 1-2 there again from Tyson Fury.
You could feel the size and weight difference there, couldn't you?
Yeah.
18-10 to 15-13. It's a big 3-stone advantage. And look, he's rope-a-doping. Good work from Fury.
Can he do the pace? That's the key question, isn't it? Because that was a good round for Tyson Fury. Fantastic body work. There was one little moment in there, a bit of jeopardy, but I think the majority of that was Tyson Fury.
I think right now Fury's engine is looking better than Usyk's. I think those first 3 rounds have taken more out of than those 2 rounds have taken for Fury to win, I think. And those body shots are visibly affecting Usyk again. It's no secret, and now Fury seems kind of comfortable touching, and the moment there's a target worth touching in front of him,
Usyk
whipping,
landed
not thinking about it.
So many body shots in the first 2-3 rounds.
Stop throwing it now.
But Fury's landed half the amount with double the impact.
Yes.
Yep, size matters there.
And even a headshot as well stiffened his legs a bit, Usyk. There was like a long cuffing uppercut, and you see his leg kind of...
But the body shots take so much out of you, man. They just like, it's just really physical. It drains you a lot. Do you know what I mean? It feels like it adds rounds onto the rounds that you've already done. Yeah. And I think that was showing there with Alexander Usyk. He was gassing a little bit.
Oh, look.
Well, we've got an unofficial scorecard from those watching ringside. They've given the second round to Tyson Fury. I didn't see that.
Wow.
So they've got him 3-2 ahead. The guys watching...
Who was that, Richie Woodall?
So the commentary team on the television have got Tyson Fury 3-2 up. We've got Alexander Usyk 3-2 up because we descend on the second round as it stands right now. But the last 2 rounds were all unanimous that Tyson Fury is absolutely getting himself into this fight.
Good left hand from Usyk.
Very good.
That's what he's doing. He's getting round that right side of him. Fury's left side, because when he gets there, he's got a channel straight through the middle.
So much better Usyk when he comes up close.
See what he's doing there, Usyk, where he's closing the gap with his feet. He's moving his feet first, then letting his hands go. Fighters that try and close the gap with their hands get caught on the way in.
His footwork's so good, Usyk. Again, the body shot. Looks, he's almost going to complain there, Usyk.
He wants to. But one thing I'll say about Usyk is he's very good at adjusting.
Yeah.
He's one of the best fighters I've seen at something going against him and him turning on its head.
Yeah.
Will he be able to do it against Tyson? He's a whole different type of animal, maybe, but He is very good at adjusting live on the job.
This is why they're the two best. It's elite, isn't it?
Because look, right now, it looks like Fury's trying to hold and thinking, oh, let me smother him a little bit.
Well, this is clever. This is clever, you know what I mean? Take a little bit of weight, put a bit of weight on him, take something out those legs, slow him down, make sure he doesn't get a second win.
Oh, good work again from Usyk, though. He's turned it around again here, Usyk. First half of the round, we're just down to 130 in the round. Usyk's been dominant in this first half.
Yeah, he hasn't really done much this round, Fury. It's like he's taking half a round off.
Yeah. March around.
Oh, there you go. Lovely body shot. Lovely shot again.
Usyk took it.
He did.
Significant shot, though, from Tyson Fury, and it's getting a lot of success. It's a big whipping.
Oh, the body shot. It's playing around the back of the head.
Now,
Fury looks like... Oh, big shot from Tyson Fury.
He's done. Big shot from Fury. Don't rush. Cut the ring. Look at him.
Massive uppercut from Tyson Fury on the chin of Alexander Usyk.
Wow.
Now he's whipping the body shots in.
Best shot of the fight.
And he's trying to stalk Usyk down in this round number 6 with about 55 seconds of the round remaining.
Body shot.
Tyson Fury is going through the gears in round number 6. He really has found his rhythm. The size is really taking its toll now.
It's almost like David and Goliath, the pea shooter. He's not making any indent, is Usyk?
This is a big round now again for Fury.
Very
Usyk
big
started
round.
this round well, but Fury's landed a really couple of eye-catching punches,
shots.
and that's turned around on its head.
You see those cuffing shots, Fury lands in like the half rhythm.
Yeah.
As Usyk's just done his full input, there's just a slight cuffing shot or a body shot just coming off key a little bit, off rhythm.
Suddenly looks enormous in there, Fury.
Uppercut again.
He's just putting him there.
It's that right uppercut to the body, isn't it? That's the shot.
He's
that
timing
Usyk's
it.
struggling with.
He's timing it so well. Usyk needs to ask a different question. He was brilliant for the first 3 rounds, but the last 3 rounds have been absolutely Tyson Fury as he finishes the 6th round.
Oh, not the tongue.
Biggest round as well.
Very good round for Tyson Fury.
Massive round.
Let's get to the Redwood pub. Let's see what the fans are reacting like. Ollie Clink's down there. What's it like in there, Ollie?
Oh my word, Catman. That last round, this place was rocking when Fury was hurting Usyk. And those Fury fans have found their voice over the last few rounds as well. You guys have been saying it. The man is starting to take control of this fight, and this pub started rocking in that last one when it looked like Usyk was suddenly starting to look pretty hurt. Either way, atmosphere's fantastic.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Keep it rocking in there. We'll be dipping in as and when this fight, obviously, continues in a moment or two as they're just taking the final instructions as they enter the second half of the fight. Round number 7's about to get underway in Saudi Arabia. It is perfectly poised. I think we're all unanimous in the studio. It's a little bit different out there. We've got it 3 apiece as we enter the 7th round. Brilliant start for Alexander Usyk, but Tyson Fury's got a foothold in this fight in round number 4 and is taking control.
It was the ease of that uppercut, though, Adam. The ease at which he landed.
He throws it so nonchalantly, blasé, like it's just, and it lands and there's an effect straight away.
He looks comfortable now, Tyson.
Yep, he certainly does. He's just waiting for that shot. You can see him just holding that right hand like an anchor, just waiting to launch it up as Usyk comes in. He's going to have to come off that line because Fury is sizing him up for that right uppercut.
That lead hand, good work there from Fury. He's just not letting Usyk reset now at the edge of range, which he was doing before.
Usyk he needs to ask a different question, doesn't he?
He doesn't look like he uses much energy either there, Fury, as well. You have a little burst, he'll smother, he's landing, he's scoring. He's got Usyk's both arms trapped there. If you see, Fury laid on Usyk, had his left arm tucked in, and he had his whole body completely sandwiched there, and he had the arm free as well as doing it.
This is really clever from Fury because he's landing shots and then he's falling, using that huge weight advantage as well. It's got to be tiring, Usyk.
Yeah, Usyk's fast start and he was trying to force the pace. Now it's all about adaptability and whether he can change things around because Fury is dominant at the moment. Good left hand over the top there from Alexander, but Fury still looks so confident, doesn't he?
Relaxed as well. He looks like he's flowing at this point.
He does. The feints are there and the timing. That backhand, just as Usyk is falling in, that backhand is just catching him every single time. That whipping uppercut, as the boys have been mentioning throughout the course of the watch.
And I think Fury's done a much better job than we saw at any point AJ doing with Usyk. That he looks like he's more spent after 7 rounds, Usyk, than he did after 12 rounds.
Do you know what it is, Sonny?
He's adapted here, Fury.
Because
He's really
Fury
clever.
can box on the back foot. AJ can't really box on the back foot like that.
And
what's
he's
Fury's done?
smothering him.
Oh,
another
big uppercut
shot.
again there.
Again.
That one hurt Alexander. He's grabbing hold here. He's just buying a little bit of time inside. Yeah, Fury's just using that
like it's
reach.
effortless.
Straight from
Usyk. I tell you what, this is eating up, boys. This is beautiful. It's Tyson Fury.
Can you believe no one's moved in the crowd? Hey, can you believe not one person's moved in the crowd? Can you believe it?
Listen,
It's what we wanted, this.
This is absolutely fascinating. Tyson Fury absolutely getting a foothold in this fight, no doubt about that. But every now and again, Alexander Usyk could land something of real significance, just to give us a little bit more of a question. He looks like he's feeling himself, though, right now, Tyson Fury.
Well, there's a lot of work going in here from Fury, a lot of movement, throwing the shots.
But I think he's flowing, though. Look, he's throwing, he's coming back, he's resetting, he's touch, and then he's going
Fury's
again.
dabbing his nose a lot. I wonder if there's a little damage there.
Let's have a little bit of a look, because he's got a... Oh, he's tried it there.
He's
tried it. Oh, from Usyk, get him in, from Usyk.
I don't know,
Usyk
I think he's riding him. I think he's riding him.
Yeah, he's riding them. They look more dramatic because of the way that he's slipping and sliding. He's riding
It's just
the
the
shots.
first thing he's really put effort in for the last couple of rounds, Usyk.
He needed that, Usyk. He did.
He finished well, but I still think that Tyson takes that round.
Massively Tyson won the round. But what I'm saying is
had every round since the third.
that last 10, 15 seconds, Usyk needed that because the fight was running away from him there. And, like, when your fighter gets like that, they need a little bit of an encouragement to get themselves back in there, like that little teaser, just to say, like, I've landed a couple of shots. He'd done that in that last 15 seconds. That was important because the fight was slipping away from him. Another Tyson Fury round, 4 rounds to 3 on my card. Don't know where you are, boys. That's where I am. 4 rounds to 3 for Tyson Fury.
I've got Fury up. Yuri Chichenko in the corner has got a lot of work to do there for Alexander Usyk, who normally comes on strong in the last half of the fight. But under this weight, under this pressure, and the fact that Fury's catching him, especially to the body, and that was another sort of
massive shot.
He's hurting him with ease, and it's got to be taking something out of Usyk.
Do you know what? It's just sometimes how Fury's really managing to just sort of pin him in up against his body and one of his arms. He's getting so much.
Great start from Fury.
On to his feet here, Fury.
Yeah.
I think he wants to start setting about.
Eighth round started. Tyson Fury planted his feet and let a couple go, but Usyk is absolutely responding. You're listening to talkSPORT. We are available on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel right now for the watch along. I'm Adam Catterall, Spencer Oliver alongside me, as is Sonny Edwards and Adam Smith. You can come and join us there. Get involved in the comment section. Give us your thought process on everything that is going on with this particular fight. But Alexander Usyk is getting into some rhythm now in the 8th round. Having maybe lost the last 3 or 4 rounds, he's just started to up the gas a little bit in this 8th round.
He's gone back to that same touching from edge of target.
Looks like the first couple of rounds again, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's gone back to that same sort of bounce in and throw with the backhand.
You know what it is? It's that second wind, Sonny. Sometimes, like you say, you look like he was gassing a little bit there, but he's in such great shape. A fighter gets a second wind. You know that. We've been there before. You get that second wind and you can kick on again. He seems to have got that second wind.
Also, that second wind can sometimes be, OK, you've just lost the 4 last rounds.
Yeah.
Are we going to keep at this pace, or are we going to go do something right now?
Yeah.
Hasn't landed a lot here, Fury.
No, he hasn't. It's definitely Alexander Usyk through the first 1 minute 30 seconds. But there you go. There's a nice one to the body from Tyson Fury.
I think the jeopardy's...
Lovely response from Alexander Usyk. Lovely 1-2.
That's it. Usyk's rolling the dice a bit here.
Well, I think he has to change the tide in some way, doesn't he? Because it was Fury getting into that room. We said at the start of this, gents, that it's all about rhythms. Usyk started. Tyson Fury brought that rhythm. Now Usyk's got to break the Tyson Fury rhythm in some way, shape or form. It looks like
he's trying. Going Fury, but this is Usyk's round so far.
Oh, but he's using a lot of energy in this round. He's using a lot of energy.
He has to,
forced the pace.
He has to force it a little bit because he was running through his fingers.
The problem with Usyk and being so quick to react, is when you've got someone that's twitching a lot in front of you, you're reacting to a lot of their twitches. And then sometimes I think Tyson's getting him to switch off to him because he's jolting so much, he's doing it so much. We can't keep reacting to it all night.
Adam, body shots from Usyk. I'll say it now. How are the judges seeing it? Some of these rounds difficult to score. How many landing accurately? For me, this is Usyk's, this 8th.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is Usyk's with 35 seconds to go in this 8th round.
pouring.
It's definitely an Alexander Usyk round. I think he needed it as well, boys. You know, he lost for us the last 4 rounds on the card, and he needed to turn it around.
Much better this from Usyk.
It's like he's come out switched on. It's like...
Yeah, well, he had to.
A different
Oh, big right hand from Alexander Usyk.
Beautiful shot from Usyk.
It was an absolute beautiful shot.
Seals this 8th, doesn't it? That.
Just a bit of respect there from Fury.
Wants to see the times.
Fury's just step back there, and he's just having a little bit of a look, isn't he, to finish off this round?
Go for that Usyk then.
Usyk, absolutely.
Is there a cut there?
There's some claret somewhere,
There's
isn't
a
there?
lot of blood on Fury's face there. Is it his nose? Is it?
There's some claret somewhere. It's coming out somewhere.
His
nose is bad. That was an Alexander Usyk round.
His nose might be broken. It was hurt earlier. I think that nose was damaged earlier.
4 apiece on mine,
I've got
mate.
4 apiece, yeah.
Here we go. 8 rounds down, 4 apiece.
Frank Hopkins working hard there. There's damage. Big shot from Usyk.
Is that where the blood come from, or?
Boom.
Boom. But the nose, it went earlier.
Where did blood come from?
There it is. That's where the blood come from. That was a beauty.
That left
Looping
hand.
left hand.
Oh, right in the eye as well. Right.
Yeah, lovely.
In the gap there.
There you go.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Oh, he cut the eye as well. He has got a cut on the eye.
He absolutely felt
I think the eye did open a bit there, guys.
Massive round that for Alexander Usyk. Let's be dead straight. He needed it. Because from round number 4 onwards, Tyson Fury had started to feel that rhythm, hadn't he? He got right into it. He was landing those beautiful whipping backhands, and he was starting to run away with the fight, but he switched it.
People thought it was going to be a chess match. This is the fight we've all hoped it would be. It's poised so beautifully. Richie Woodall's got Tyson Fury a couple up. How are the judges seeing it? 4 to go. Who's going to win this, boys?
Listen, I think it's a 4-round fight. I've got it all level. It's literally a 4-round fight for all the marbles.
Here we go.
Usyk, we know, as a great engine. He will kick on. He'll push it. The big question is, can Tyson Fury go with him?
It's going to be how the energies fall off in these last few rounds, I think, because after a few real good middle rounds from Tyson, getting probably a lead for the first time in the fight for us in the studio, I think.
Yeah, good job.
I don't know, when Usyk's coming out of that bit of urgency about him, Fury's letting him take the lead a bit. He definitely did the last round. And who knows, those 4 rounds might have taken a lot more than we thought out of Fury because he looks relaxed.
How much of a problem would that nose be, by the way? Because that nose is definitely broken.
Well,
He's
what it does,
bleeding
it gets
heavily.
respect, doesn't it?
The nose is bad, but I want to go back to Spencer's point about an hour ago about the conditioning of these two and the fact that Fury's gone up and down in sort of out of camp and Usyk's kept with that total professional, consummate attitude all the way through his career. Is that going to pip it down the stretch here?
Good shot.
You never know, though. Sometimes it's quite good having a little bit
I tell you what, Usyk is really forcing the pace here, boys. He is forcing the pace, and when a round goes close, sometimes that sways a judge. Usyk is the busier of the two. Like, Fury's boxing well on the outside, but it's just pressure.
And it looks like he's the one that's forced it.
Big shot!
That's better. See,
Two big shots from Usyk.
Well, when he doesn't try and land the first shot,
it's the second.
Once he gets there, adjusts, and then goes for the second. Usyk
Body
finds a better
shot from
target.
Fury. Both of them dabbing their noses. This is
It's
brilliant.
absolutely awesome.
Undisputed written all
over
it.
Nice right hand from Tyson Fury. I tell you what, this is ace.
Now Fury's digging deep.
Yeah, he's got to, because he's got to get a grip of this. 9th round here, minute to go. Alexander Usyk pushing on. For me, Usyk winning this round.
Yeah, maybe the last couple as well.
Yeah.
He's turned the tide.
He does that, though. He goes, They traded backhands there.
He doesn't like the nose, Fury at all, dabbing away.
He's swinging.
I tell you what, he's feeling the pace a bit here, Fury.
Good body shot from Fury.
Yeah,
It's a big round this for Usyk.
No effect. Usyk.
He's got him! He has to give him a count.
10 count.
He's keeping him on. Tyson Fury is out on his feet.
There's nothing left.
He is all over the place.
He's going to his corner.
He is all over the place. He's getting to This is sensational.
The bell saved
Tyson Fury at the end of the 9th round.
Can he recover from that?
Wow.
Is a minute enough?
I'm going to tell you what.
No one can hear a word we're saying.
This is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
No
10-8
way.
round in the ninth for Alexander Usyk. He landed a massive left hand. Tyson Fury was out on his feet.
Oh my word! That
on
left
his
hand.
feet.
He's
That
lucky.
was sensational.
I've got to tell you,
He's
boys,
out.
a minute is not long enough at this stage
No,
of
I
a
don't
fight.
think No, look so. at him, look at him.
Fury is gone, mate. That is a tough way to recover that.
Do you know what? He would have done better going down. He would have done
Absolutely.
better being on his back.
Oh, my days!
We're watching replays.
Had him off his feet.
Just in case you are joining us on talkSPORT, we are watching
You do
replays
not
at the
recover
moment.
from that. Heavyweights
that's
don't
the
recover
shot. That was the one.
Was a sensational round for Alexander Usyk. This is a massive 3 minutes in the tail of this fight.
And the bell saved him.
As
Another
it
30
stands right
seconds.
now, we're through 9 rounds. We had it 4 apiece in the studio. This is all unofficial. We had it 4 apiece in the rounds up to the end of 8. Round 9 is a 10-8 round in Alexander
He's in
Usyk's
desperate
favour.
trouble here, boys.
And round number 10
He's
has
hurt.
just
He's hurt,
begun.
but he's not recovered. He's not recovered.
He's not recovered at all.
He's going to go for it, Usyk, isn't he?
You're listening.
Fury needs to throw.
Hand again.
Throw.
Alexander Usyk has
He has to
started.
throw.
Combination's got to throw.
He's got
One
to throw
shot.
something.
This is the opportunity now.
Now, Fury
right
needs to
now.
give him something to think about. He has to right now. Give him one thing to think about.
This is a sensational
He's stalking him,
performance.
look, he's
Can
stalking
Alexander Usyk see this through? 10. We're in round number 10.
Got to let his hands go, Usyk here.
And what did he
Just
say?
wait. He's patience. He's looking for the time.
Not
he
patience.
Needs it. He needs to let it go, though. He
Let
needs
it
to let
go.
it go. He's giving
Combinations.
Fury valuable seconds here.
He's up on the cards at this point. No, he's got to be.
Yeah, he's gotta be.
It's
He's gotta be.
undisputed. I
And he's
think
up
if
on his
anything,
feet. Look at him.
If anything, I think he's doing right now what makes him so great.
That's it.
Makes him
That's
so
it.
dangerous.
Oh, body shot as well.
Usyk is slowly stalking his prey. I spoke to somebody earlier on this
This
week.
is brilliant from Usyk. This is absolutely
Better
brilliant.
from Fury. Come on, let's start body shot.
When it looked like Fury had swung the fight back in his favour.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is magical from Usyk.
He's having a go though, Tyson Fury. He's
That's
trying
it.
to take the centre of
He
the
looks
ring.
clear
Let
now.
that right
Come
hand
back.
go.
It's
Fury
cleared.
looks a bit clearer
It's cleared.
now.
It's cleared.
Has it come back? We saw it come back on several occasions. Deontay Wilder put this man down.
It's that left hand, though.
Deontay
getting
Wilder
his
put
feet
him
now.
down. He kept getting up. He kept getting the job done. Is he going to do it again? But it looks like Alexander Usyk is the man in the ascendancy in this 10th round as he's slowly stalking the prey, landing those big, long left hands. And Tyson Fury just looks like he's just still trying to clear his head.
Now
trying
he's
to get
played.
back
Now
in.
he's showboating. Usyk.
Yeah,
I think Usyk wants Fury to come out.
Fury to come at him because he couldn't get Fury on the counter
To open
punch.
up.
He couldn't. Yeah, Fury's moving. He's being negative. Hands.
The right
hands held
hand's
high.
down
He
low
couldn't
of
get
Fury.
What is the biggest difference here? Is it the size? Is it the engines? Is it lifestyles? There's a clear.
It's a bit of everything.
It's lifestyle and engine from Alexander
But the
Usyk.
efficiency of a smaller man is much easier to move a 6'3"
And the
body over that.
adaptability
Oh,
as well.
just missed that.
He
left
missed him.
hand.
Oh.
He missed him.
Nearly.
Oh! Fury back with a
Tyson
shot.
Fury with a big uppercut.
Wow.
But it just,
No effect, no
it
effect.
just bounced off him.
Oh, good
And now
right
it's
hook. On
Usyk
the way
landing
out.
some hands.
What a
Usyk.
fight, guys. It's lived up to it, this.
It really has.
This is what happens when you put the two best fighters on the planet in the heavyweight division in the ring together.
I've
It's
been so
absolutely-
impressed, Adam, with Usyk. The way he's come back.
Don't see him going
It's
again then.
another big round for Usyk, this
Every
boys.
time he goes, he looks dangerous now.
Because he
Usyk.
lost 4 rounds in a row, definitely, Usyk. And now back.
And now he's back in
Massive
business.
ascendancy.
Was he just getting a few rounds up, letting Tyson burn his energy back and then
Maybe.
taking away? He's not
Maybe.
done it before.
Maybe. This is a...
Oh!
He went for a big
He's just
overhand left. He
looking to
just
close
missed
that
it,
gap,
didn't he?
isn't he? Look, Usyk, he's there, man. He's there.
Usyk taking that round on our cards. Let's get back to the pub because I've no doubt there's chairs,
it's changed
tables,
now.
beer.
It's
Everybody's
like the
getting
England
covered in all sorts.
I know.
Ollie, Clink, my man, talk to me.
+3 for Usyk now, mate.
That England match, you're up or down, right?
Oh my word, lads. That pub had lift-off in the last round when Usyk was making Fury doing a silly little dance. But then at the start of the 10th, this pub were egging them on. Come on, finish the job. So much for support for Usyk in the pub right now. Can Fury make his way back? I don't know, but I tell you what, his fans have lost their voices at the moment. This is looking like Usyk's fight.
It is at the moment. We've still got 2 to go. These are the championship rounds. This is where champions are made. It's the undisputed championship fight. between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. Welcome to talkSPORT. If you've just joined us,
Richie's got it level.
He's watching a completely different fight to us. We're obviously making reference to the scoring from the television pundits but the scorecard has just come up on our screen.
Three judges have got
we don't know how it's being influenced inside.
Look at this from Usyk, going for it again.
But this is what you've got to do now. You don't know what the situation is. There's 2 rounds of this fight remaining. Yes, Tyson Fury has taken account. He was absolutely battered from pillar to post in round number 9 by Alexander Usyk, having a lot of success from rounds 4 to rounds number 8, Tyson Fury. But this fight is on a knife edge right now.
So Fury's the big star, right?
This is what you're thinking, Adam. I was thinking. I was going to say the exact same thing.
There you go.
This scorecard's going to be close, Adam.
And Usyk, it'd be very close. And I wonder if Usyk may be a very disappointed man unless he gets the job done within the distance.
Gents, talk to me about Fury. Are the legs back underneath him? Is his head clear? Is he back on that jab?
Their legs are definitely back with Tyson Fury. Yeah, they're definitely back. That would have taken a lot out of him. But Alexander Usyk is a man on a mission. I mean, the engine this guy's got, we said that he's dangerous in the last quarter of a fight, and that is exactly what he's doing here.
He's taken the confidence out of him now, I think, Usyk.
Sven, you said a minute wasn't long enough to recover, though, and he has recovered.
Yeah, but Usyk gave him the next round. Usyk half gave him the next round. He didn't pull it on him. He definitely won the round again, Usyk. Usyk controlled the round, but he just didn't... He didn't look to hurt him.
I'm not sure Fury knows what to do now. I think he's run out of ideas.
I think he's cautious, isn't he? He's just been clipped, and he doesn't want to feel that again.
And that was different to getting put down with one shot and being on the floor and getting back up at 8. That was different.
That was a beating.
A shot and another shot and another and another and another until you eventually got cascaded down to the ground.
He's landing some nice little uppercuts here.
That's another big shot from Usyk there.
I think Fury might have got one in the middle of there.
He's landing some nice uppercuts, is Tyson Fury in this round.
That's all he's got to do. Adjust and throw. Adjust and throw the gap.
Another shot. One over the top from Alexander Usyk.
When you're so big, you're a big target.
Usyk's feeling confidence.
He's oozing confidence.
Here we go.
He's oozing confidence.
Is the little shoulder roll.
He looks a lot bigger than Fury almost now. It's unbelievable, this.
Just the way that he squared up to Tyson Fury a minute or 2 ago. This is absolutely captivating stuff. You're listening to talkSPORT. We're on the talkSPORT boxing.
Big shot from
Fury.
Both landed simultaneously.
And they're both smiling. Right smile from Usyk.
That was a big body shot from Tyson Fury and the one over the top from Alexander Usyk. On the money, both of them. This is a great round. Very difficult round to score this. Both landing some big shots.
Usyk's winning this round for me. I think he's been the aggressor in this one. He's been forcing the pace and landing the cleaner shots.
The volume as well. Slight more volume.
More volume.
I tell you what, this last 3 minutes is going to be chaos. It's going to be absolutely chaos.
Oh,
good shot, Fury.
I'm not sure if it fully landed, though.
It's a close round, this.
Very close round.
Oh, good hook. Good hook.
Tyson Fury looks like he's got himself back together a little bit.
I've got to say, I'm going to say it now, 10 seconds to go in this 11th. A round for me for Alexander Usyk. I've got Usyk 4 rounds up. Fury, for me, needs a knockout to win this contest.
And I don't think I'm disagreeing with you there.
Usyk's up, definitely.
Usyk
took that one.
Do you know something? He might have took it with the last punch of the round there. That was a wonderful shot from Alexander.
He had the belt off.
Wonderful shot from Alexander Usyk.
Such courage from Tyson Fury.
I'm 4 rounds up for Alexander Usyk. He's got to be winning this fight.
Usyk's up on everyone's scorecard apart from Richard Woodall.
Well,
well, Usyk winning this, no doubt. But the judges are the 3 that matter.
Everyone's looking stressed ringside, Adam.
Everyone's looking stressed.
Mr. Turkey O'Shake don't look happy, and that means that they probably had the Tyson Fury AJ fight already made up.
Just there.
Just
skim the whiskers, that.
Are we 3 minutes away from controversy here, gentlemen?
Could be.
Draw. I'm calling it now.
We should be. Unless Tyson Fury knocks him out 3 minutes away from Alexander Usyk. Just putting the icing on the gâteau and crowning himself, maybe pound for pound, king top pound for pound.
Anyone on to William Hill for the draw odds on the screen right now?
12-1 it went down.
It was 12 earlier on, yeah. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Get yourself to our talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. This is where it's going to finish. 3 minutes of the undisputed clash between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk to go.
Well done, boys.
We have got it razor close. It could be.
Oh, here we go. 3 minutes.
It could be
ain't over till it's over. 3 minutes, 12 rounds.
Never over.
He got that dog in him.
I think unofficially in the studio, we've got Alexander Usyk winning at least 6 rounds, and he's got a knockdown round in there as well. He's got a 10-8 in there. He may even have taken 7 of those rounds. Has Fury done enough to win 5 of those rounds? Does he need this? How is this going to be scored? This is absolutely crackers.
Listen, I've got Alexander Usyk.
He's going for the gears now. You know he's a ruthless finisher.
Not waiting for the judges. He's absolutely going at it. But fair play to Tyson Fury. He's responding.
I think he's been absolutely phenomenal tonight, Alexander Usyk.
Can't deny that.
Again, I think that the few rounds in the middle that Fury won, for him to start so well and finish so well.
Look what he does with the lead hand.
Exactly,
the lead foot and lead hand, it's all connected.
His footwork and his timing have been better.
But look where his knee and elbow is. They always go together. Look, they come together. They're always connected. They come together.
He's a complete fighter.
And he knows by now. Just
the pace here.
This is brilliant.
He's
manhandling him.
He threw him into the corner.
Threw him into the corner, Alexander Usyk.
The Rock Stone Cold Steve
Oh, do you remember Barrera to Naz in the corner?
He is putting the rubber stamp on this. This is sensational stuff. Fury answering, though, with some straight 1-2s.
Fury needs sank. 90 seconds.
Listen,
he needs something big, Tyson Fury.
Oh! That might start it, though.
Right hand. That was a good right hand, that.
Tyson Fury needs a Carl Froch against Jermaine Taylor moment.
He needs to go through the gears. He needs the gears.
He needs something now.
And he knows it, Fury.
He's got to go for it. He's got 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining of this fight. As it stands,
Look at the Ukrainian, he's still forcing it, though. 1 minute to go.
The pace he's set.
The hand right from Alexander Usyk.
He's been too good tonight, Usyk.
Too quick.
Again, simultaneous.
Both of them at the same time landing big shots, but I tell you what, Alexander Usyk, if there was any questions about whether he was...
He's won his 12th round, by the way. So far, Usyk is winning the round.
How did Fury survive again after nearly being stopped?
No idea.
Oh, the head came in. That was a bad headbutt. Oh, look.
I tell you what,
Who cares? 30 seconds to go.
That was better than his dad's.
Guys, they've both dished out. They've both dished out a fight worthy.
Come on, Tyson!
Tyson Fury with a big right hand.
They've dished out a fight worthy of this undisputed. No question about that.
Come on, 20 boys. Let the hands go.
20 seconds left.
Absolutely.
He's gone.
This is unbelievable.
Last 10 boys.
They're both having a go at it.
He's
Go
run
on,
out of time,
stand
Fury.
in the middle of that ring and let's have it.
And I'm behind your back.
Fury puts his hands behind.
Alexander Usyk has got to have won that.
Usyk's round 5. I've got Usyk winning that by 5 rounds.
Fury beats his
Usyk,
undisputed champion, surely.
That is absolutely sensational. Right, let's tally it up, boys, because on my scorecard...
Yes, definitely. Usyk.
I've got that. Listen, I know that you're going to be slightly wider here, Spencer, but I'm scoring that 115, 112 in favour of Alexander Usyk. That's where I'm at. Knocked down in the 9th round with the extra point off. I did...
Richie Woodall has it level.
Alexander Usyk won that fight.
We're putting his own stream on next time.
Alexander Usyk won that fight, whether it was by 2, 3, 4. Doesn't
1,
really
2,
matter.
3, 4,
He's got to be the undisputed champion.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That I've seen that scorecard.
Alexander Usyk was absolutely sensational.
Incredible.
From rounds 4, 5, 6 and 7, I genuinely thought he's bitten off more than he can chew. I thought it was going to go down the other path because Tyson Fury got the rhythm going. I think Tyson Fury knows. I think he
there's
knows.
massive respect from Fury. I think he knows he's a beaten man. And Alexander Usyk smiling. He was non-stop. The pace, even when he lost those 4 rounds sort of in the middle... I mean, incredible the way he came back at him. The footwork, the body shots early, the head shots, the knockdown.
He won the last 4 rounds and the 10-8 round there. He was dominant at the beginning of the fight and dominant at the end of it.
How did you score that?
Fury only won the middle rounds. The rounds that would score it.
How did you score it?
Come on, man. Come on.
Unless it was already written in before.
No, there's no draw there.
He knows.
There's no draw there.
If this is a draw now.
If this is draw now, I'm walking out, mate. That's gone. This is not no draw.
We're going down the pub if this is a draw. We're getting straight down the pub. You're going to see us in the next scene there.
No way.
These scores are going to be fascinating.
I'm just trying to get a bit of a social media take from people that are watching this.
Yeah, but you know what? People are influenced by the draw on the TV. People are influenced by that.
They definitely.
We were watching that. No sound. We're just watching it. You're not listening to the commentary or anything.
That's TNT. That's Richie on TNT. That's not how Andy and Matt would have scored it on Sky. Maybe different, very different.
How
we don't know.
Score it? Do you know?
The Zone. How do they score it?
Anyone
Todd
else
Grisham
know?
and the guys.
I know how it was a unanimous decision
can't
in
see
here,
there
right?
being many.
We saw it, all four of us.
You never know.
You never know.
Rematch!
You never know. And there is a rematch for October, and Tyson Fury looks like he knows he's been beaten for the first time in his life.
I just hope that the right thing happens right now.
And what is that, Adam?
That Alexander Usyk has his hand raised and he's crowned the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Unanimous decision or close?
It should be unanimous.
It's got to be, mate.
It's got to be unanimous.
Listen, I was doing my best to be as impartial as I possibly could there with what I was seeing. I can make an argument in round number 11 that Tyson Fury maybe nicked that round. Hence me scoring it 7-5 in Usyk's favour. The knockdown scores it 115, 112 on mine.
2 minimum.
I got it 115, 112.
Have you ever seen so many people in the boxing ring, by the way?
No, I haven't. Absolutely ridiculous. That was so... The way that Usyk changed the momentum of that fight in round number 8, round number 9...
It's more people in the ring than in the crowd.
It's
going to fall down.
20,000 in the ring.
That's insane.
We have now currently broken Guinness World Records for the most...
Mike Goodall's like, the ring is about to collapse.
Look how many cameras there are.
So, mind-blowing.
I'm just trying to get a
What are you saying,
grip
Adam?
of
No
what
deposit
people are
back.
saying here.
Wow. What a fight. What an incredible night for boxing. Amazing. All the build-up,
Frank,
all
don't
the
look happy.
speculation.
With all the people in the ring, it's gone absolutely crackers. Michael Buffer can't get in the ring. That's the hold-up at the moment, we're being told right now.
Here we go.
Oh, there he is. There he is. He's on my screen
Come
now.
on, boys.
Here we go.
Is justice being done here?
Get it right. Get it right. This is Usyk's night.
Have we got some scores coming in?
I'll get you the official thing in my headphones in a minute, gentlemen.
He gets it before us.
I'm going to... Listen, if it's not an Usyk win, table's going over because he's won that fight.
Here we go, Buffer.
Let's see what happens. Michael Buffer's on the cards right now. Here we go.
do it.
You are listening to
One second.
talkSPORT. It's Alexander Usyk. It's Tyson Fury. Undisputed championship of the world. We've just seen 12 epic rounds. Fury absolutely had his moments. Usyk had his moments.
Andy
Fury
knows.
took account.
No.
Look.
What?
No.
Split decision, it's a split.
No, it's got a split.
It's a split.
Told you, they got the AJ fight already made.
I bet they give it a draw. Oh, come on.
Some of those rounds close.
Draw?
They've drawn it. Have they drawn it?
Off. They give it a draw. They've drawn it.
No, they haven't drawn it.
They haven't drawn it.
Alexander Usyk is the undisputed champion of the world. 115, 112 to Usyk, 114, 113 to Fury, 114, 113 to Usyk. So what's happened there is that two of the judges have scored it 6 rounds apiece. One judge has scored it 6 rounds apiece with a knockdown favouring Alexander Usyk. One judge has given it 7 rounds to Tyson Fury. Wow. But the knockdown brings it back down to 114, 113. And then one judge has seen it exactly as I've seen it, 7-5 in favour of Alexander Usyk, with him on the knockdown.
So by 1, by 1 and by 2?
That's right. 115, 112, 114, 113 to Alexander Usyk. 114, 113
115, 112 is right.
Alexander Usyk, by split decision, is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
The right man won.
That's all that matters.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're going to take a little bit of a breath. We are going to be back with you very, very shortly to get a full reaction of that. But if you're just joining us on talkSPORT, there was a bit of confusion with so many people in the ring, the way that everything was being read out. But we can confirm, via split decision, Alexander Usyk is the King of Kings. He's the undisputed champion. This is talkSPORT's King of Kings. We're recapping the Fury versus Usyk fight. Still with me in the studio to unpack what we have just watched. Former European bantamweight champion Spencer Oliver, former IBF flyweight champion Sonny Edwards, and the legendary voice of boxing, the one and only Mr. Adam Smith. Gentlemen, we prayed for the undisputed fight. We got the undisputed fight. It lived up to everything that we ever wanted to see. Both men absolutely brung it for large pockets, but the man that brought it the most and delivered the key moments of the fight was Alexander Usyk. He is the undisputed heavyweight champion.
And well deserved, yeah. He rightly won that contest. I've got to tell you, Adam, it actually lived up to expectation and more for me. I didn't think it was going to be that. I thought it was going to be more of a chess match. I think Alexander Usyk forced the pace of the fight. He put Fury on the back. Fury then done that, adapted very well in the contest, that adaptability, and he started taking control of the middle rounds, and Usyk done what great fighters do, bit down on his gum shield and rolled the dice and threw it at Tyson Fury and run away, a deserved winner there. The 115-112, I think, boys, was about right.
Yeah.
I could have even been 116, 112 on my card, but it was like the right person won the fight.
Yeah, I think it was probably definitely a bit wider.
You got a squeaky chair there, Spence.
Yeah,
you're giving it a little bit there, aren't you, pal?
Listen, it is my chair, by the way. I'm just putting it out there. Yeah.
Just for people listening and watching along, yeah. Just excited.
Hold a minute, it wasn't like that in the fight. Something squeaking down there.
Go on, Sonny, you were saying, mate.
Yeah, I think it maybe was a little bit wider than the actual scorecards had it.
Yeah. Well, one judge there has scored 7 rounds to Tyson Fury, and I'll be honest, I was scratching for 5.
I think if you give 4, they were all in a row for me, for Tyson.
Yeah.
I think there was 3 clear and then the rest were clear. I
agree.
I think there might have been one swing round in like the maybe 8th, maybe. I might be wrong on that one, but I don't know how it was so close. I think Usyk was the clear winner, I think. And like I said in the middle of rounds, one thing that Usyk is very, very good at is when it's going the wrong way, somehow finding a way to turn it back.
Yeah.
And when he did get back, it didn't seem like it was ever coming back.
Yeah. Sensational performance. How close were we to seeing one of the most unbelievable stoppages in round number 9 from the onslaught from Alexander Usyk?
One of the most incredible stoppages, but we talked about the epic fights in heavyweight history earlier on, the Ali Fraziers, the Bo Holyfields, the AJ Klitschko's, and of course Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder. And so many people thought this would be a chess match. This would be a technical sort of, it's quite boring affair. And in the first maybe 30 seconds of the fight, it seemed like there was a little bit of that. But Usyk just pushed the pace. He did not stop. First 3-4 rounds, 1 or 2 were tight, but then Fury seemed to have 3 or 4 in a row, and then Usyk comes back at the end, nearly stops him. How he didn't. I mean, and that's, take your hat off to Tyson Fury for a moment for coming back from that. That was incredible. But Usyk, for me, showed why he is an absolute phenomenon. He's a superstar. He's been a great athletic boxer for many, many years. You don't have 350 amateur fights, lose only 15. Plus, all those professional fights, cruiserweight, heavyweight, step up. He is a one-off. And, as well as what's going on in Ukraine at the moment, he's 37 years of age. Unbelievable what he did tonight.
Absolutely sensational. Fury, in his post-fight interview there that we've not got at the moment, but he thought that he won the fight and he said he'll be back for the rematch. Obviously, there's a rematch booked for later on this year. And listen, he showed pockets in that fight to probably warrant that opportunity, but he didn't win the fight this evening.
Some of the rounds were close. Some of the rounds were close.
Yeah, and he didn't win the fight. Usyk won the fight, and I think, but what it does do is that it was a good enough fight, or he put up a good enough performance to warrant the rematch. People would want to see that rematch. Yeah. It's one of those ones where you still go, well, he could turn it around here, because, it was a credible performance. Alexander Usyk won the fight, but Fury made it a great fight. He made it a great fight.
The rematch is set for October. It's perfect. Yeah. We thought if it was one-sided, would AJ come into it? But now you can have AJ fighting. Well, you've got the 5v5 in a couple of weeks. Yeah. You've got Zhilei Zhang and Wilder. You've got Daniel Dubois and Hrgovic.
Yeah. AJ
fights the winner of Dubois and Hrgovic at Wembley in September.
And then March next year.
Then October, the rematch of these two. Could they do it as good again? Then you've got Fury, AJ. I mean, how many more do you want?
Would you, before I go to the pub, would you Want to see AJ Usyk again. If AJ can come through that, what you just said, that navigation, if he can come through a Hrgovic and a Dubois and he can pick up the other trinket, if it is to be vacated, as we are being told in a couple of weeks' time for that particular fight. By the end of the year, if AJ is one of the belt holders, would you be against AJ Usyk?
I want to see it again because I think AJ's got a refound confidence in his own ability, and I think that makes him a different fighter. I think that was what he was lacking when he went into those fights. I mean, he was getting better. In the second fight, he was better than he was in the first fight, but he didn't believe in himself enough. And I think now that he believes in himself and he's had those couple of good wins, it could be a different fight. Not saying that AJ wins the fight, but what I'm saying is it's an intriguing fight and a fight that you would love to see again. Of course we'd love to see it again.
Now, for people listening, when I say before I go to the pub, I don't mean me personally. We're going to go to the pub now where Ollie Klink is actually waiting to speak to us. He's been in and around the fans that have been watching this contest this evening. Look at his big beaming smile there, mate. What was that like? I bet the tension in the room when they were reading out the results was palpable.
It really was, Catman, but I have to say the pub absolutely loved that result. As soon as it was read out, there was a Ukrainian flag thrust up into the air. There was loads of applause, loads of cheering. There were Usyk fans out in force tonight, and they were very happy that they felt the judges got that decision right. One of those fans tonight was Cal. Cal, did you think that was the fair result in the end?
I think so. It was a great fight, but at the end of it, I thought Usyk actually was the better boxer at the end of the day. He fought really well. A great fight throughout, but yeah, Usyk really sort of clinched there.
It was that ninth round, wasn't it? I mean, tell us what this place was like during that bit when Fury was on the ropes. He was all over the shop, and this place was rocking, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Honestly, when you start to see Fury sort of wobbling, like honestly, the crowd went mental on it, and honestly, it was like wow, and like the whole crowd felt like it was Usyk, literally fan base.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, guys, everyone absolutely buzzing about that result tonight. Fury with a loss as well. I love the fact, by the way, just then, Cal really wanted to start his shadow boxing, didn't he? He wants to see round two, so do we. We'll be in the pub next time as well. Best job in radio. Thank you, everyone. Brilliant.
You've had a touch tonight, Klink, let me tell you, mate. Sunshine. And you've not had to buy a round either. What a winner you've had, Sunshine. Sensational stuff. Ollie Klink there reporting from the Redwood pub throughout the course of the evening. Got a treat for us, boys. Do you want a three-weight world champion on the show? Let's get him on. Duke McKenzie, welcome, my friend. Hey. Welcome to the show, Duke McKenzie, giving up a little bit of time to come and join us. Duke, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. Really good, really excited. Watched the fight, loved it. Great result, right result. The right man won the fight. I think the term, Fury got off to a really good start in the fight, but couldn't maintain it. And Usyk he did what needed to be done. I think that's what separates the good from the great. Fury's a good world champion, but I think Alexander Usyk is a great world champion.
Duke, you're a man that obviously went through the weights yourself. Talk to me about this guy. Yeah. Cruiserweight world champion, now heavyweight world champion, undisputed in both. I mean, he's just a phenom. He
is a phenomenal fighter. And, he struggled at times because of the size difference. Fury's such a lump. He's such a big guy. And he got off to a really good start. He surprised me a little bit, Fury, because his jab was working really, really well and he was looking for the openings. I thought he might have got drawn in a little bit earlier, but, Usyk is he's like your pro's pro. He's the sort of guy that I'd say to my son, watch this kid. If you want to learn how to box, watch this guy. He's not a kid, but watch this man box because he's that good. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. I like.
Oh, he hung up, didn't he?
I think he's got a phone call there.
There we go. Sorry, guys.
It's all right, Duke. I understand, mate. You're live on the show. I can imagine that you're getting loads of phone calls, my friend. Carry on, please.
Yeah, no. Usyk is the kind of guy, like I say, I'd watch him and I'd say to my son, watch this guy. If you want to learn to box, just a pure boxer. He's beautiful to watch. Lovely southpaw, lovely balance, lovely movement, times his punches well, doesn't throw punches aimlessly, doesn't throw punches in the general direction where he hopes they're going to land. Everything's pretty pinpoint. If he'd have been a bit bigger, then he would have got a stoppage. But, it's the right result, and he's come out champion, undisputed champion at 2 weights.
Regarding the tempo change as well, because there's obviously a lot of, as they say in South America, I've said this on the show a couple of times, there's a large set of cojones there, isn't there? Because he needed to change the momentum of the fight in and around round 8 and round number 9 when he ended up getting Tyson Fury wobbled in there. For him to have... Yeah. The stones to be able to do that, to walk into that fire when he was getting clipped with that uppercut, takes something. It's a serious mentality that this guy's got, as well as a sensational skill set.
Oh, he's got grit. He's got true grit, hasn't he? Like I say, Fury got off to a really good start. The jab was popping. He was working really, really well. He's working him up and down, slipping in the uppercuts. And Usyk walked onto a few of them. And then, like a true champion, showed his real class, to bite down on the gum shield, walk forward, walk Tyson Fury down, which isn't easy because he's a giant. He walked him down, and he just kept missing with that straight left. He kept swinging it over like a left hook, kept missing with it, and once he clipped him, then the fight of the pattern changed, and it moved into his favour. Do you see what I mean? It was good to watch. It was good TV.
So listen, before I let you go, Duke, we've just been having a little bit of a debate in the studio. Obviously, Anthony Joshua's got a bit of a path to go yet. If he can come through maybe the winner of a Dubois-Hrgovic at some point this year, it might set him up for the winner of the rematch between Fury-Usyk. If it's to be Usyk again, would you be against seeing part 3 of Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk?
Right now, listen, right now it's not good business, is it? Right now the business end of it is the rematch between Usyk and Fury.
Yeah.
Would I like to see Anthony Joshua fight him again? Of course I would. Wouldn't you want to see AJ against Fury at Wembley or any arena in the world? It would sell out anywhere. That fight is the fight really that the public really want. But there's one problem, and that's the guy that's holding the belt right now has beaten both these two.
Yeah.
And beaten them both quite convincingly. And I would hazard a guess he would do it again.
Yep.
Mate, listen, Duke, superstar as always, mate. Well said. Thank you so much for giving up a bit of time to come and join us at the end of that. We'll let you get off now, mate. Take care. Superstar.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
3-weight world champion there.
I agree. I
Duke McKenzie coming to join us
brilliant.
for the show. We've just seen, there's a few pictures now coming to us from Saudi Arabia where Alexander Usyk's obviously been greeted by his friends and his family. His wife's obviously in attendance, but we've just seen him with Vladimir Klitschko as well, fellow countryman and man. Both fellas obviously serving their country during this incredibly tough time. What an unbelievable mindset he's got to be able to have gone through what he's gone through and then go and deliver a performance like that this
That's
evening.
what I'm saying. Can you imagine the emotions running through that guy's head? Like I said at the beginning of the show, he's so patriotic, that he's so involved with his country, left boxing, they had that undisputed, had that title fight with Anthony Joshua that he walked away from to represent his country, to fight for his country on the front line. And then come back into boxing. Could you imagine the emotions to go through? Listen, Sonny, we've done it at a top level, so the emotions that you go through on that journey anyway are insane. Could you imagine adding that in there as well? You've got to be, your mindset, it's got to be so strong to be able to overcome that. So that's why what champions do is they feed off stuff like that. And that's exactly what he's done. He's taken that on board and he said, listen, I'm doing it now. I'm now representing my country. I'm doing it for my country, for my people. And that's how important it is.
When I'm in camp, I'll be getting out of school runs and night feeds, so I can't imagine. I can't imagine going front line. I'll be real. I think that would be like, let me knock this one back.
I asked you at the start of this show, right?
Yeah.
Is he the pound-for-pound number one? Is he the pound-for-pound number one now?
I think he is. Look, boxing news right on there. They also say inside the mind of a boxing genius. He's not just a boxing genius, he's a genius in life. That's what Alexander Usyk is. He's a family man. He fought on the front line. He's been impeccable with his behaviour. He's an incredible role model and an inspiration to people around the world. OK, I just think as well, just deep down, he probably just wanted it that little bit more tonight. And he had the athleticism to pull it off. I think, to do it at cruiserweight and at heavyweight. Johnny Nelson told me many, many years ago when we were commentating on a very early fight of Alexander Usyk's, and Johnny, remember, reigned for 7.5 years as a world cruiserweight champion. He said, this guy is spectacular. And that's what he is.
And he was spectacular tonight,
absolutely. You can't deny that. Pound for pound, number one, without a doubt. You don't become undisputed cruiserweight champion, undisputed heavyweight champion. It's not like going through the lower divisions. These guys are jumping up stones, 3 or 4 stones. It's a big, big leap going into the heavyweights. And what he's done there is he's demonstrated a dominant performance and had the WBC king all over the place. I thought that was a sensational performance from Alexander Usyk, and he deserves that number one pound-for-pound spot. Who beats him? Look at that performance.
Well, nobody beats him.
It's crazy because the last person I can really consciously, I'm thinking about it, the last person I can consciously remember beating him was Sean Porter.
Yeah,
he was
I know.
like 18 years old.
Welterweight.
Isn't that mad?
Yeah.
That's the last person I'm thinking. I'm trying hard. I've watched... every time he was in any amateur tournament he went in, he just went all the way through to the final and won. It was like you just... automated it. He won everything over and over again. He wasn't losing.
Everything as a professional as well.
Straight through. No
22-0, nothing.
No draws, no delays, no
Nothing.
stalls. Go do that weight and then go and do that weight, one after the other. Probably drop down to light heavyweight if he wants and do that one as well.
No controversial decisions.
Listen, he goes down as an all-time great. You can't deny that. You can't.
One of the all-time greats.
One of the all-time greats.
From
Without
amateur
a
to
doubt.
now.
I said that at the beginning of the show, Adam. He was already one of the all-time greats.
But now he's rubber stamped it. He's absolutely rubber
Undisputed times too.
Jumping from cruiserweight and taking on a guy
the biggest jump.
And taking
The
on a
biggest
guy
jump.
that is, what, 60 pounds heavier than the cruiserweight limit.
And who was seen as how is anyone going to beat this man? People saying...
And it couldn't happen to a better role model for the sport.
I completely agree. Listen, absolutely, truly sensational. What an evening that was. If you've been listening to us on talkSPORT, thank you so much for that. If you've been watching along on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, I'm sure you've seen our faces get excited throughout the whole course of the night. We've got some big stories. We've got Cordina-Cacace. He's a new world champion, beating Joe Cordina earlier on. That was absolutely sensational, wasn't it? Jai Opetaia did the business, came through it. He had to weather a storm at the back end of that fight with Maris Predis in the rematch, but he got through it and he's now the cruiserweight champion, holding that IBF strap. And of course, in the main event, the first undisputed title fight for 25 years, it's Alexander Usyk that gets his hand raised. On the cards, it was 115, 112, 114, 113 in his favour, with a descending card of 114, 113 in favour of Tyson Fury. A split decision it was, but he's the man that got his hand raised, and he is the King of Kings. From myself, Adam Catterall, Spencer Oliver, Sonny Edwards, and Adam Smith, thank you very much for joining us. The undisputed champion has been crowned. The best heavyweight of the generation has a name, and his name is Alexander Usyk. Good night.